Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Come check me out, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. I'm gonna give y'all a minute to get in. We gotta redo this thing here, y'all. Give everybody a minute. Testing 1 2 3. Y'all up in here? Come on in, y'all. All right, now, y'all. I'm glad y'all double back around and sit with me. Had a little technical difficulties. Y'all know how that may go. Hey, hey, what's up, Alex? What's going on? Hey, Olivia, Crystal, I see y'all double back around. Hey, Jessica, thanks for coming to sit with me, y'all. I am wait, let me see. There we go. Yeah, it's been a bit much. Hey, Phone Jones, I see you. Can you hear me, Nick? Testing.
Yes,
Can
can
you
you
hear me?
hear
Okay,
me?
good, good. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, yeah, y'all. I had a little mess going on here, but we're back. And as I was saying earlier, Amber, hey, there's been a lot of talk here about this immunity, and I wanted to again run that back by everyone. I did speak to the proper people, and I was told that was not true. Also, as far as I know, that would have had to been on a record, especially during the preliminary when she testified. Right? They would have had to disclose that. So I'm a little confused as to why, so many people was believing that or whatever. I would like to say that most of the time when something is going on, those particular family members do create, a diversion and have everybody thinking one thing. Just kind of to get the conversation off of them. So that's what I was expressing earlier, saying I won't be surprised if that's what's happening. I do not feel in no way that, even though, I heard a lot of people say, well, she's married to an officer, so maybe she told her. I can't see that lady risking her whole job um, to not just tell her wife that, but to have her wife announce that publicly because she would be on the hook. She would be in a lot of trouble. So I really absolutely doubt that. Let me catch this chat while we here. I said, what's up to everybody? Am I missing? Did I get you, Phone Jones? Yep, I got you. Jessica, Amber. Hey, hey. Alex, what's up? I see y'all. Hey, D. I see y'all up in here. Hey, thanks for coming to sit with me. So, yeah, y'all, I was just like, as we can see, that was Chat GPT. So I said, okay, well, since they can throw something in Chat GPT and come up with some mess and pop it on Facebook, let me throw something in Chat GPT and see what they tell me. So I'm going to play it for y'all and y'all tell me what y'all think. Okay. 1 second.
Yes. Shannon Harris did testify at the preliminary hearing in the Nazia Harris case.
Isaiah.
During the multi-day preliminary examination in Detroit for the murder and related charges against Jarvis Butts, who prosecutors allege killed and sexually assaulted 13-year-old Nazia Harris.
Isaiah.
Shannon Harris, who is Nazia's aunt and the mother of 5 children with Butts, took the stand. Here's what she testified about at that hearing. She described her relationship with Jarvis Butts and noted that he would sometimes pick up Nazia and take her to his job at an auto shop. She also testified that after Nazia went missing, she found inappropriate Instagram messages between the teenager and Butts. This testimony was part of the state's effort to show the relationship between Butts and Nazia and to establish probable cause to send Butts to trial. If you'd like more details about
1 second, y'all.
yes, Shannon Harris did testify at the preliminary.
Second part. Yeah, I know it's Nazaya. But since they doing all this AI, right, Alex? I'm like, they doing all this AI, they doing all this chat GPT. Let me try it and see what we come up with. I'm literally doing the y'all know what I'm on. Okay, here we go.
There's no credible information from reporting or court records showing that Shannon Harris was granted immunity for her testimony in the Nazia Harris preliminary hearing in Detroit. Here's what is known and how immunity typically works in U.S. criminal cases. Pattern 1. No public report of immunity deal for Shannon Harris. News reports from the preliminary hearing in the Nazia Harris case list multiple witnesses testifying, including Shannon Harris, Jarvis Butts' sister, and police and forensic witnesses, but do not mention her being granted immunity for her testimony. If a prosecutor had formally offered Shannon Harris immunity, reputable local outlets would likely report that as part of the legal proceedings, especially given how closely the case is followed, and there's no such reporting. How immunity works in criminal cases. Witness immunity means a prosecutor agrees that certain testimony, and sometimes evidence derived from it, cannot be used against the witness in a future prosecution. There are two main types. Transactional immunity, broad, rare, protects against any prosecution related to testimony. Use and derivative use immunity, more common, limits use of that testimony and evidence derived from it. Prosecutors must request it and a judge must approve it for it to be valid. And there's no indication that happened for Shannon Harris in this case. Hasher. 3. Witness testimony immunity. Simply appearing as a witness and testifying in a preliminary hearing does not automatically grant immunity. Unless the prosecutor formally offers and a judge orders immunity, a witness still could be investigated or charged later based on independent evidence. Also, immunity only applies to truthful testimony. Perjury, lying under oath, isn't protected and could lead to separate charges. Summary. There's no public evidence Shannon Harris received immunity for testifying at the preliminary hearing. Testifying at a preliminary hearing does not automatically confer immunity. If immunity were granted formally, it would require a documented prosecutor request and court order before the testimony. If you want, I can explain in more detail how immunity deals are formally.
All right, guys.
There's no credible information.
Here we go, cause they went to chat GPT and put it on Facebook. So here we go, guys. Oh, that was both of them. All right, so y'all see what I was getting at. Oh, okay, because they did a quick chat GPT and threw it on Facebook and have everybody believing it's nonsense. So, yeah, since we all talking to AI, we're all getting our information from AI and the internet and all the YouTubers have went absolutely crazy. There you have it. Let me read the chat. I said, what is going on? Jessica said, I heard that Shannon hit Nazaya in the head with a heavy object and kicked her. Do you think Shannon involved on Nazaya case? Jarvis yelled at Shannon to stop. No, that was a fake recording, Jessica. That was a fake recording. That was not his brother. And again, that was put out there, I believed, as a distraction. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. Dini said they did. They did. Shake my head is sad. I didn't understand that, D. I'm trying to get it, huh? Um, let's see. D said they can charge Shannon later. I think the point I was making was, and the point that our fellow AI was making, the new god of the universe, um, is that would have definitely had to been disclosed. Like, period, point blank. That would have to be disclosed, and that would not protect her, not at all. So it just absolutely don't make sense. Go ahead, Nick.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to take care of something. Where we at with it?
Oh
Did
no, you
you?
fine. I thought you was saying something. I thought I was cutting you off. It's
Oh,
okay.
I was typing in the chat just talking to Alex because
Oh yeah, yeah, Alex.
Alex is full of knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. I see you, Alex. Alex says, and don't forget the spiritual readers got all the answers too, right? Exactly. Um, let's see. I don't want to miss nobody. Alex says she has a ton of followers who don't read or can do their own research, so they believe anything. I agree. I agree. Let's see.
Shamina has
Shamita's,
some
go
good
ahead.
points.
Go
Shamina
ahead, Nick.
has. She says she isn't a unindicted co-conspirator, and Shamina also says, uh, I hope no one believed her. It was purely inaccurate and a lie. I've been a paralegal for decades. That's a conflict of interest to have the same attorney, and she would get immunity as a witness. Well, they were saying that it was the same law firm. And are we going any deeper into the that public defender office that they're speaking
Oh
on?
yeah, go ahead, Nick. Go ahead. Take your time. You got it.
And so if anybody watched or is familiar with the YSL trial, if you remember the defendants, the youngest one on trial, his name was Little Rod. Little Rod had a public defender. You can go back into the testimony, you can go back into the hearing. Um the particular public defender that he had from the organization, or public defenders of, what is it, like a 501 something, they were barely getting paid. I mean, they wanted that lady to take up most of her life, and they was only trying to pay her like, um it was anywhere between $5,000 and $7,500 for a trial that was gonna last for months, and she had to really fight for money. So a public defender's office, I mean, stop it. I mean, it's not like Jarvis has this money and he's paying top dollar. No, not the case.
I agree. I don't know what people think that Jarvis was financially. However, I want to help you guys understand that we're gonna call him a pimp. Okay.
Hmm.
And that's not no shot to him pimping as far as whom, but I'm saying that's what he thought he was, and he was about it. He did not have no money like that out here. He did not. It was many times. You know, I've heard that Shannon has had to buy him things. Okay, and so I'm just like, stop it already. We're not talking about nobody with no bank. Jarvis did not have no bank, and whatever was done as far as the name, the shop, and so on. I don't know what that was about. I don't know if it was tax purposes, because we know a lot of people do things for tax purposes. I don't know to speak on it, what the reason was. Um, so I'm just letting everybody know Jarvis wasn't no dude out here that was getting money like that. Okay. Um, another thing, Shannon is fighting a CPS case. And I was told that that is the attorney that she has. She's fighting a CPS case. So I want to let everybody know that's what her attorney was about. The CPS case that she has. That's what's going on there. Chat
Yeah.
said, go
And
ahead.
and as far as Jarvis was he had all them different females for a reason. Tax return reasons. Come on now. I mean, you can look at the dude and I mean, like Alex said, he didn't even have his own home at a 40 plus year old man. Come on now. Stop giving this dude credit where it don't need to be credited at.
I absolutely agree with that. Yes, indeed. Let's see. And as far as him being able to get out of like this, not I keep hearing about this Jarvis getting out of free card, right? Getting out of jail free. Never. Not at all. We talking about what is it? 18 counts? 18 he's sitting on 18 charges, right? There's four different victims. We talking about just SA alone, right? That's what I'm saying. We talking about just SA alone. So to say that he's finna get out, that's absolutely crazy. It's no way he's getting out. It's no way. No way. Not at all.
Definitely a lot of Jarvis cheerleaders out here, boy.
No, really, because it's one thing to add and say, well, this person may have been involved, that person may have been involved, but to completely take away the justice of these victims. We're not just talking about Naziah Harris. We're talking about many victims with just the SA charges alone. Um, him being free, or even the thought, or even just even putting that out into the universe, is like saying these people, along with Naziah, my other cousin, little cousin, and the other victims will not receive their justice, their complete justice. That's just not gonna happen. Not at all. I don't know how many times we have to stress what the evidence shows against Jarvis that have not been talked about within the preliminary examination, but there's so much against him. So many things that they have not. They do not have to disclose. They don't have to show their hand. They do not. Not for preliminary. Again, that's 10% evidence, but they have a lot. Okay. I don't know how many times I gotta stress that. There's a lot more video. We have just the what is that called there? The camera there, the ring cam or
Ring
whatnot.
count.
But there's a lot more video, there's a lot more audio, and I want to tell everyone that I'm a mother first, and there absolutely was everybody wanted to know if the school was open or closed on the ninth. That was the first day that everybody went back. We had a snowstorm that day. It started off with light snow and rain, and that's if you were from Michigan, the light snow and rain doesn't amount to nothing, but it accumulated hours later into snow. See what I'm saying? We had like a whole snow out. So let's see. Alex says, man, people don't understand how the police work in Detroit. I agree. Also says, my brother was red rummed. We had very little details until trial happened. Agreed. OG, what's going on? I see you. Let's see. Lex also said they have nothing else to talk about. I agree, and that's all this was a distraction. Mind you, the internet was beginning to say, you know what? I see you. We see what's going on, and boom, here we go with this. Every time they hit us with a boom, right? Every time. That's how you know. Like they say, a hit dog gonna holler every time, and that's exactly what we have here. That's it. That's all. Let's see, Joyce. Hey, I see you. Joyce says, right. He hasn't even had a bail all this time. Agreed.
Hey, OG nerd. Long time no see.
Jessica says, do Shannon know where Naziah is right along with Jarvis and Annette? That's a good question. I can't answer. Um, I would absolutely think that they all should know what's going on, but that's probably a question for the other cousin because she seemed to know a lot. I would, not being funny, Jessica, just saying she let her tell it. She know everything here, so I would definitely mm-mm-mm. Yeah, no clue, y'all. Not at all. If you want my opinion, I can give you my opinion. But as far as the facts, lovely lady, I see you, girl. Hey, hey, hey. So yeah, y'all. I wanted to get off into a conversation of CPS, and the counselor, the failure of, and just how corrupt the CPS system is. It absolutely is, and I've lived through this, um, to see, not just once but multiple times, how the CPS has failed families, and children. It seems as if the families that shouldn't be investigated, that could just use some help, a helping hand, some resources, they quick to take those children, and do something about it. But the children that's 911, 90, hurry up, come quick, this child is in trouble. Yeah, we hear nothing but tragedy as far as those cases, and that I don't understand it for the life of me. Let's see right quick. Alex says, and I'm confused. Isn't there a video out of Roxy saying she picked up the shoes in pink onesie, and put them in a plastic bag? Yeah, it absolutely is, a video of that. Um, and I shared that. Uh, yeah, there's a video of her. Um, let's see. Carmel says, unfortunately, CPS seems to overlook abuse when the child appears to be well kept. I agree. I agree. They come in, they check your cabinets in your refrigerator, and you got a few packs of chicken and some vegetables or whatnot, maybe some bread and some cereal. Okay, there's food here, and a lot of times, if families know CPS is coming or something, of course they're gonna clean up. They're gonna keep the house clean all week, just if they know that the CPS worker is coming. Um, as you guys know what we went through with CPS going through the house multiple times, and the children was telling them that they were safe. They needed them to say that they weren't, and I'm sure it was clean. Alex says, but her mama said they didn't touch it. Child. Well, we all saw that wasn't true, right? We all saw her touch it for sure. um I just lost my train of thought. I was gonna touch on something, y'all. Anything else you want to say, Nick?
Um, I don't think so at this time.
Okay, I'm gonna get back in the chat before I move on to a few of these horror stories, y'all, that has transpired, not just in our city but others. As far as the CPS thing, at this point, it's like we need to really do something, and we need to do something quickly, because this is so many children being failed. Shamina said the same law firm wouldn't be allowed to represent him and her, since she a key witness and the mother of the victim has been charged with essay. That's a clear conflict of interest. I agree. I absolutely agree with you. I could not believe that that's what we were hearing. I was like, oh no, I know people can't be falling for this. Like, I know it's like everybody amped up to want to hear something as we move into, the rest of knock the rest of these days down, headed for trial. But just to hear anything and absolutely think that it just might make sense, it don't make no sense. That's it just absolutely don't make no sense, at all.
It's mind boggling to me that people follow what other people say instead of fact checking anything. I mean, we can't just be a lazy people that don't do research. I mean, it's just mind boggling.
Okay, read the chat for me, Nick.
Olivia says there's no way. Obviously, Roxy don't know ish about the legal system. Jessica, is Naziah death was on purpose or accident while she was pregnant? Jessica, you asking questions that it's no way possible for people that weren't at the crime scene to know. So I don't know. Maybe this is not the right chat for you. We do speak truth over here, and we try to find the facts before we speak on things. So no, I can't answer that. Right, Olivia. The people in their chats can't spell research exactly. Nene, girl. Oh, that Nene talking about Kewana tore them up on Two's chat. Um, okay, she read that. And Alex says, I don't know if Kewana. Oh, okay. Let me see. Oh, she read that too. Um, okay, I'm looking through the chat, you guys. I think I'm just going back up. Right, Olivia. He's never getting out ever. Exactly. Right, Nene. Jarvis was broke. He's still broke. Even when he called King. Oh shoot. I came in here with some money. Negro, please. He sound like a liar. I'm gonna tell you that. When he opens his mouth, nothing but lies. Jessica, um, my advice is don't just take the words of people. Find facts.
You said the video.
Uh, Joy Jaco says CPS did the bare. Hmm, Joy Coy. CPS did the bare minimum in this case. They spoke to the wrong adults and said, okay, case closed, shaking my head. Yeah. Yep. Right, Alex. Their research is TikTok and YouTube too. It's sad. Listen here. I was always taught don't believe everything you hear, don't believe everything you read, and question everything you see. Because we know these social media platforms, you can be anybody you are or you not.
That's
You
right.
could be as fake as you want to or as real as you want to. You know? I mean, that's the sad world we live in these days.
I absolutely agree. Did we get Joy comment about CPS?
Right now,
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. Um, okay, we got that. So yeah, I'm gonna play a couple of audios for you guys. Y'all know how we do it over here with the records. So I'm gonna play this one first.
now Jarvis Butts is awaiting trial for the murder and sexual abuse of Naziah Harris.
After listening to days of testimony last month, a judge called Butts a monster and said that opportunities to protect the 13-year-old girl were missed. Tonight, the 7 investigators are revealing years of warnings that preceded Butts' alleged crimes.
Warnings that family members say were made to Children's Protective Services that could have saved Naziah's life. Here's what 7 investigator Ross Jones has uncovered.
You look at that face, and you do not see the horrors that she had gone through in her short life. The exploitation, the molestations, the sexual abuse, and the pregnancy that she was concealing.
Years before Jarvis Butts would be charged by Wayne County's prosecutor, accused of killing and sexually abusing 13-year-old Naziah Harris, Harris's own relatives say they saw the warning signs and told anyone who would listen. So at that point, I said, this is too much. I'm calling CPS.
I tried not just once, but multiple times for them to take me serious in what I was saying.
Kewana Morton and her cousin Jernell are both relatives of Naziah Harris. In February of 2022, Jernell says she learned of allegations of improper touching involving Butts and other small children. She says she was told about the claims while talking to her niece, Jarvis Butts' girlfriend, and that the alleged victims were Naziah Harris and two other children. I was just like, oh my God, I was not crazy. This needs to be looked into. She says she took the claim seriously in part because Butts was on the sex offender registry, having spent more than 8 years in prison for third-degree criminal sexual conduct. She didn't alert authorities at first because she believed her niece would notify police. But weeks later, Jernell did notify Child Protective Services. Her complaint came in on April 13th, 2022. There was an incident at a birthday party, the complaint reads. One of the children that attended the party accused Jarvis of sexual abuse. Naziah, and name withheld, reported that Jarvis touched both of them inappropriately as well. Jarvis touched name withheld in her private area, and it hurt. Jernell made the complaint over the phone. They basically told me if they needed me for anything else, they would reach out. The next day, Jernell would receive a text from her niece, Butt's girlfriend, confirming that CPS had contacted her. CPS called me, the text reads. They called about the well-being of my kids, and they called back to get Jarvis info. A CPS spokeswoman would not tell 7 News Detroit if investigators ever questioned Naziah Harris after receiving the complaint. But we do know it wasn't the only complaint filed with CPS, naming Jarvis Butts.
And it wasn't easy for me to call protective services just because of the horror stories that you hear.
Kewana Morton said she heard about the same allegations against Butts from a conversation with his girlfriend. 2 months after her cousins called the CPS, she would file her own complaint.
I told them that there's a problem and they need to be aware of it. I am 90% sure that there's sexual abuse going on within the home.
Did you specifically mention Jarvis by name?
Yes, absolutely.
Internal CPS records we obtained show that investigators looked into that complaint, conducting a face-to-face interview with Butts, who strongly denied the allegation. A forensic interview was conducted with the alleged victim, and no disclosures were made. CPS said the home was clean and free of observed safety concerns. The allegation was denied, assigned a low risk level. These are 2 complaints of at least 5 filed with CPS since 2015, naming Jarvis Butts. They allege concerns about possible molestation, physical abuse, or living conditions. Some of the complaints are generic, and none would ultimately substantiate that Butts was improperly touching children. Just over a year after the last complaint on record, Butts would be charged with sexually assaulting and murdering Naziah Harris.
I'm brokenhearted.
Right now, Jarvis Butts is awaiting trial for the.
Yeah, y'all. So clearly, failed. That's an understatement, you know. And again, that's just 5 reports that you all are aware of. There are many more that they were not let us get our hands on, and we got lucky to get the who got their hands on those because it wasn't us. Now there were reports, like I said, made in not just in Wayne County, but in Clinton Township. Um, I mean, man, it's so many reports. It's so many. Okay, so that investigator, um, he does stories on these topics all the time to call out the wrong of CPS and how they um, just basically miss our children. They miss our children, and that's a problem. That's a problem, y'all. Okay, and as y'all can see, Shannon had a problem with Janelle calling and making a report to CPS. Ain't that a bitch? She told Janelle that she had already been in contact and did everything she needed to do and with the police and CPS, and she didn't do that. And Janelle thought that that's what was being done. for that week and some days. She thought that that's absolutely what was being done. But when she called her to check upon the status and what was going on and everything, she had told her that her mother had talked to the kids. And she said, "What are you talking about? You were supposed to have been calling CPS. You said you spoke to CPS and the police and etc. I tell you what, you ain't even got to worry about it. I got something for you. Click." And she went on to make the report. But again, there were more reports than that. There were more reports that I and Janelle made, both of us, to both counties, you know. So let's see what the chat's saying. Alex says, "I think they will get neglect charged after the trial." I believe so. And that's what we are hoping for and praying for, because my thing is there have to be some type of consequences behind this situation. This cannot go on without being a learning experience. If anything, you need to know how wrong you were. You need to understand how wrong you were. Period. You need to be punished for that wrong. Phone Jones says, "What do we expect? What do you expect from a person that said if society could give him another chance, why can't we?" Mm, that's right. I agree. Let me check it out, y'all. Let me scroll up. Joy said, "I know you and Janelle aren't thinking of money right now, but they need to be sued." Yeah, I agree. We haven't thought that far, but you're right. They have to. They. I absolutely agree. um, it's no way. They just overlooked this, and I'm about to play some more where it's just multiple children that have been failed, multiple cry outs, and multiple failures by the CPS. Okay, supposed to be child protective services. I can't see that, because the children are definitely not being protected.
Uh, Jessica King looked like he was irritated when the grand jury asked questions. What grand jury? There was no grand jury involved. Let me go up here. Shamina, if Roxy really found key evidence, she'd be subpoenaed and barred from speaking on the case, just like the person who found the ID, because evidence can't come in without the finder testifying. Bingo.
That's right. There you go.
Look at look at OG. He always laughing at me.
Always. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna play this next one. Here we go, y'all. Lifestyles unique and hold on, y'all. It's an ad. They had to hit us with the ad. Go.
Well, a culture of silence and stonewalling is blamed for the failure to stop Larry Nassar's heinous abuse of children.
But do state lawmakers bear any blame for writing some of the softest laws in the country when it comes to protecting children?
Well, here's 7 investigator Ross Jones with more.
When it comes to children, people like teachers are required to report even suspected abuse. But what happens when they don't? And are Michigan's laws strong enough?
How many little girls could have been spared from this lifelong battle if someone at the university had just done the bare minimum and listened? When girls came forward and told an adult, the adults didn't listen.
Over more than 2 decades, at least 14 representatives of MSU are said to have been told about Nassar's repeated sexual assaults. But under Michigan's mandatory reporter law, certain professionals like teachers, doctors, and therapists are required to notify Child Protective Services over even suspected abuse. Bill Cycli has represented scores of children and teens who were victims of sexual abuse.
We're not serious about it. We don't mean it when we say we're out to protect them.
While states like Florida, Maryland, and Massachusetts have made failing to report abuse a felony that could put you in prison for years, Michigan offers among the lightest punishments in the country, a maximum penalty of just 93 days in jail. Attorney Mick Graywall represents more than 80 of Larry Nassar's victims.
You can't have a penalty, a 93-day penalty to begin with, to deter somebody.
And while the law lists more than 20 professionals as mandated reporters, positions like coaches and trainers are never mentioned. That means the Michigan State coaches and trainers alleged to have been told about Nassar's abuses may not, under Michigan law, have had to report them.
This law needs to be changed. It needs to be clarified.
Even with one of the nation's lightest penalties, just how often is anyone being charged? Barely ever. Over almost the last 30 years, state records reveal 69 charges statewide, fewer than 3 a year. Only 17 of those cases have led to convictions. Do you think there are only 17 cases in the last 30 years of failing to report?
Ross, I've handled more than that from a civil point of view.
If the state will ever address the shortcomings with the mandatory reporting law, now, say victim advocates, is the time.
Here we're talking about children. You would think that those are the people we most want to protect.
In Lansing, a bill was just introduced that would add coaches and trainers to the list of mandatory reporters, but it would not add tougher penalties to those who failed to report. I'm Ross Jones, 7 Action News.
Now, Ross Jones is the same reporter that myself and Janelle did our report with. I'm gonna catch this chat. Let's see. Let me go up a little bit. Oh, let me get to Sabrina. Sabrina said, so she was your little cousin, so you must didn't see her either in a while if you didn't see her pregnant. Yeah, that's absolutely right. We hadn't seen the kids since 2022. We have done many interviews that you can go back to. Plenty of my talks, I spoke on that. But if you want to start to finish, you can go to Community Advocate Network. And we did an interview and telling all this information. We did not see the children for 2 years. No, I was seeing Vari. I would meet him wherever I would meet him because, she had moved. And so once she moved, we didn't know where they lived at. But prior to that, I would have Vari meet me if I needed to like give him something or something like that because we were no longer allowed to come to the house or to communicate with the children. So I hope that answered your question. So was she in any Christmas pictures or New Year's? Most people take pictures. Yeah, there's a lot of pictures that she was in, Christmas pictures. Um, yeah, I have a few of my own. I'm just not gonna flood them on the internet. Yep, yep. There's enough pictures of her going around this here internet. You know what I mean? But yeah, I have some Christmas pictures with the kids in. So when did Kewana see her last? If she didn't know she was, I am Kewana. Excuse me, I am Kewana, and that I answered that question already. Let's see. Alex says Mark D and Roxy backed off immediately after them clothes was planted. Huh? Yeah, they really did back up, didn't they? She was out here a whole manic in the beginning. Let me see. Catch the chat for me, Nick, while I get this other one ready.
Okay. Let me go back. Hold on, you guys. Shamina says, ooh, what was that comment at? Grand juries are private. We would never see those proceedings. Thank you. School them, please. Educate them, please. Shamina. AYT Pebbles. It's just weird because he was so full throttle, then everything stopped all of a sudden. Well, when he went to that home with that AR, yeah, he got summons down to the headquarters. And you could probably go back to one of his lives. He explains um somewhat of what took place when he went down there, because they summoned him to come down after he went inside someone's home with that weapon, assault weapon.
Yeah, they were very teed off about that. And so were we, because my thing was, there were children in the house that day, so I didn't understand why that was allowed at all. I didn't understand how any adult would have been okay with that happening. And I'm just being honest here, because there was children in the house, um, especially family. Like, there's no way, absolutely no way. I did have to get rid of Sabrina. Y'all know I hate to get rid of people, but I mean, she kind of just kept asking the same question over and over. So over here, we not gonna have nobody over here being a distraction or making light of what happened. She asked about pictures and I explained it, and I don't know what her mishap is, but I try not to block people, but she had to go. That was too much going on. You know how we do over here, y'all. Common sense or nothing. I can't even do it. I don't have time for to be getting no aneurysm from people driving me crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna play this next one for y'all. And my thing is just to shed light on, you know, just the same way we gotta hold the parents accountable for neglect and child endangerment and so on. These parents, this they need to be held just as accountable. The CPS services, when you go to them or someone calls, they're supposed to do what they're supposed to do. Now, I have heard that the actual workers that they send out to the homes, um they only have so much education in that area. I'm going to do some research on that too, because I've been trying to look that up to see what's the qualifications of the CPS workers and so on that go out to the homes and everything, chat. So I'm going to bring that back around, but I heard some things that I want to check out. Nene said I was thinking the same thing. Okay. Dre said he didn't explain much after he was summoned, though. Yeah, right. They just went dark, and then once this came about, now we doing a kid and play. You know, we doing the whole dance on Facebook Live. You know what I'm saying? We want to show ourselves. A hit dog gonna holler every time. So that did it for me. And then after that, bam! Now another bomb. How she said, another bomb shell. Oh, sounding crazy. Okay. And so I said, well, one thing she gonna do is get the conversation off of her, she don't want that conversation on her. I wouldn't be surprised if she's behind dropping all of this stuff. I'm saying when it comes to, but we can't. They won't tell us, show us no proof for this. How you get this information? I'm waiting on her to pull up on us with that. Y'all know what I mean? Let somebody show us the proof, honey, because you can't just bring us anything. Not the people with common sense. You can't. Not at all. Alex said another spin. I know that's right. Another spin. Just keep on spinning. Yep, that's what they do, y'all. Spin it every time. One sec, y'all. So I want to show you, bring y'all attention to another story that was just absolutely ridiculous. Another failed child, another failed, CPS failing to properly investigate and do something about the claims of abuse.
He didn't deserve this. He already stated what was going on in the house.
6 months before Zamar King would be found buried in a Detroit backyard, he told a Children's Protective Services caseworker that his mother, Brandy Pierce, beat him with a belt, choked him with her hands, and wanted to kill him.
Zamar King was a 9-year-old child who was treated like he was a piece of garbage. The callousness with which the defendant treated Zamar cannot be understated.
Tonight, Zamar King's father sits in disbelief. How, he asks, could state watchdogs not protect his son after what he told them?
I don't expect that because I respect that CPS will take action.
Derek Brown only learned Zamar was his son through his death. A DNA test after they found his body confirmed it. Derek had been in a relationship with Brandy Pierce a decade earlier, but said they lost touch until about 2 years ago, when he says Pierce showed up out of the blue with Zamar.
I wanted to meet with you so I could tell you this is your son.
This picture is from the day they met, when Brown said Pierce made him an offer.
She told me that I could take him. She'll switch everything to me. I asked her, is something wrong? She said no. She just feel that she took on a lot.
Brown said he agreed to take Zamar, but wanted to take a DNA test first. They scheduled one for the following week, but Pierce later canceled it, he said, and left for California.
Did you ever see Zamar again?
No.
2 years later, a CPS caseworker would be called to this Plymouth hospital after Pierce arrived in the midst of a mental health crisis. She said she was homeless, questioning whether she should give up custody of one of her boys. That's when Zamar told CPS the family often had no food, he hadn't been to school in a year, and that his mother beats him. But a CPS caseworker concluded there wasn't enough evidence to substantiate a neglect complaint. The family was placed in a homeless shelter, and the case against Pierce was closed. Tonight, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services will not say whether that caseworker is under investigation or facing any discipline. Not every time a government employee makes a mistake or does something wrong, does the government then prosecute them. However, there are certain circumstances, at least the issue should be reviewed. And this is one of those cases. Matthew Schneider is a former U.S. Attorney for Michigan's Eastern District, and before that, he was Deputy Attorney General for the state. There is not a doubt in my mind, if I were still the Deputy Attorney General, I would be looking for the reports in this case. I would want to know what happened, and should law enforcement get heavily involved in investigating and looking at this case and contemplating whether or not charges should be brought. Schneider says there are two charges a prosecutor would most likely consider: willful neglect of duty, a misdemeanor charge that was brought against Rick Snyder and others as part of the Flint water crisis, and misconduct in office, a felony charge that carries up to 5 years in prison. There is no sign tonight that either the Attorney General or the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office are reviewing how CPS handled this case. The facts are is that the little boy is telling the CPS worker, I'm getting whooped with a belt. I don't have a place to live. I don't get enough food to eat. I don't feel safe all the time. And it looks like the system broke down. Whether criminal charges are brought won't mean much to Derek Brown. Earlier this month, he buried the son he only recently learned was his, and says he can't shake the thought of the 9-year-old's final cries for help.
I would have took him, but no question asked. If he would have said all that, I would have found ways to take him.
We reached out to Brandy Pierce's attorney for comment, but did not hear back. According to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, Pierce was just referred for a competency evaluation and won't be back in a courtroom until May. I'm Ross Jones, 7 News, Detroit.
Failed child, another failed child in Detroit, another failed child. And it's just ridiculous. It makes me sick to the stomach. Just how many children, um, and how many parents and loved ones have suffered through this exact same situation that we're living out. you reach out for help. It's the last call you want to make because you hear of all the horror stories. As I said in that news report, I was very serious about that. You know, um, it's very triggering for me. Um, just living this out, I feel like I am reliving another traumatizing situation with children that I love. You know, it's sad. It really is. It's sick and it's sad how um we depend upon the system, the government, you know, to make sure that laws are in place and people are held accountable that fail our children or that you know that don't hear our children, you know, like the parents, you know, like Shannon, you know, your child come and tell you and you don't even believe your child. I mean, that's hurtful, you know. I hate to even have to bring that up, but it's real. It's real. It's a real pain. Um, how many more? You know, how many more children? It's sad. Get the chat for me, Nick, while I get this other one ready.
Let's see. Mm, I don't think they're. Let's see where we at up here in the chat. I think the chat is all caught up. Mm,
Yeah, y'all. Like I said, just the reality of you know we can blame everybody, but they have to be held just as accountable. Everybody needs to be held accountable. You know, they do.
yeah. CPS. Yes. Phone Jones failed so many children. Yeah, and in some other states too. We have information on several failed cases out of state as well in different states.
Yeah, I agree. This is another one, y'all, that touched me. Touched Nick. Um, it's just sad and sick and ridiculous. So I'm gonna play it for y'all.
Had the judge told that couple that he hopes that they wake up at night and are tortured by thoughts of what they've done to this young boy. This is a case that has really touched so many because of the sheer brutality of the torture and abuse of this young boy by the two people who should have been taking care of him.
The conduct was horrendous, inhumane, and nothing short of evil.
After calling this the worst case of abuse he has seen in his 20 years on the bench, Judge George Lamelli sentenced Isaro Aguirre to death for torturing and murdering 8-year-old Gabriel Fernandez. His girlfriend, the boy's mother, Pearl Fernandez, received life in prison for her role.
It is unimaginable the pain that this child probably endured.
Gabriel had a cracked skull, broken ribs, burns, and BB pellets lodged in his body. Aguirre didn't speak in court, and neither did the boy's biological father, who is in custody on an unrelated charge. But he said he wanted to listen to the sentencing and to the other family members who spoke at the hearing.
Gabriel had unconditional love for you, and you took advantage of that, knowing he will never turn you in.
But Gabriel's teacher, Jennifer Garcia, did report the abuse to a hotline. However, social workers left Gabriel in the home where he was tortured and starved and eventually beaten to death by Aguirre and Fernandez.
I know I'm not alone in hoping that they experience the same abuse in their lifetime and worse. They are evil people for what they did.
She described Gabriel as a kind and helpful boy. She no longer uses his student number.
I don't assign number 28 to another student because I feel like it's only his number now. And it's a way for me to honor him in my classroom.
5 years after the young boy's death, justice.
I'm just doing my job. That's it.
Deputy DA John Hatami, a father of 2 young children, was emotional.
I think Gabriel's affected everybody, including me.
Many of the family members in court today wore T-shirts with the little boy's picture on the front that said "Justice for Gabriel" on the back. They read, "It's not over." Trials are now planned for the social workers and their supervisor. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Yeah, y'all. I mean, how many? You know, that's just like, it's ridiculous that we can literally comb through so many stories. Like,
Yeah, and that was out of Florida. And there is actually a documentary on Netflix. I mean, they only named a few things there that um how Gabriel was tortured. They I mean, it I'm telling you, the story is so sad. Like, I wouldn't even want to tell you guys the extent of the torture that little boy suffered. Like, but Netflix does have a documentary, you know, summarizing, what happened. Even they have even some clips in there from the trial. But I did watch it, so it is triggering. So if that's not something for you, don't I wouldn't advise you to watch it because it's brutal.
it is, and it's the interrogation, boy. I couldn't believe how he sat there and just like a Jarvis, and thought he could mentally manipulate them. And again, they already knew the answers. But
Hmm.
he was another one that thought he was slick, you know.
Thought he could out Jarvis, just like him. Most of them, they all think they smarter than everybody else in the room.
Yeah, sad. And I'm gonna do one more, y'all, and then we're gonna chat a bit before I head out. So we all get out of here. I just want to shed some light on, you know, as we know how these babies are being filled constantly.
First here tonight at 10, the man accused of murdering his son in Dayton in 2019 pleaded guilty in a Montgomery County courtroom today.
Along with him, his fiancee also pleaded guilty for her involvement in the boy's death. City News reporter Caroline Morse joins us live after speaking with the prosecution. Caroline.
Prosecutors said that today's plea agreement might finally close the chapter in 10-year-old Dakota Collins' death. They said his life was filled with darkness. Court documents stated that the boy was locked in an attic and was abused daily for several years. And additionally, detectives believe that moments before his death, he was held underwater and almost drowned.
He didn't find peace in life. We are hopeful that this will bring some peace in his death.
Wednesday afternoon, 10-year-old Dakota Collins' father pled guilty to murdering his son. In addition to the murder charge, McLean also pled guilty to kidnapping, rape by force, and 3 counts of child endangerment.
Mr. McLean was the primary abuser of this child. He beat him on his day of his death. The rape occurred on the date of his death, and that was brutal and vicious.
McLean's fiancee, Amanda Hines, pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter and multiple counts of child endangerment for her involvement in Dakota's death.
She was every part of complicit, which means to aid, to abet, to assist. Without her spurring him on, without her participating, and when Dakota should be punished and abused, it wouldn't have happened.
Court documents say the abuse, which Dakota endured for several years, came to a brutal end December 13th, 2019, when McLean raped and beat his own son to death. The Montgomery County Prosecutor's Office says they're relieved to see both defendants behind bars.
Our goal through the investigation and through the prosecution is always to seek truth and to find justice for the victims. These two belong incarcerated.
Hines faces up to 30 years in prison, and McLean faces 40 to 51 years to life in prison. Now, sentencing will take place on September 29th. Live in Dayton, I'm Caroline Morse, 2 News, working for you.
Yeah, y'all. I mean, God, dog, right? It's crazy, right? It's crazy how, like I said, we can comb through these stories all day long. We could talk about it all day long, but where do we go from here? That's all I'm saying. Like, what's next? What's the solution? What do we do now? You know, that's what we need to talk about. What do we do now? What are we on? Because there's many, and it's not gonna stop. God forbid. I mean, I hate to put it in. It's not. You know, CPS is very corrupt. I have literally, like I said, watched them take people, children that didn't deserve, stories that's close to my heartstrings. And the ones they fail are the ones that need it the most. I don't understand it for the life of me. I don't. Yeah, chat. Like I said, I wanted to come sit with y'all and just reflect on what's really going on, you know, regardless of all the gossip and all the um distractions. We got to really face what's in front of us, that this is a real problem, man, and it's not going to get no better until we do something about it. So when are we going to start having those conversations? Like, what's next? How do we band together? What do we do? What do we need to do? You know, Joyce says it's sad these jobs have to even exist. Most of the caseworkers say they're overworked. Then you have some who barely work and get paid. No, I agree with that. I have heard um a lot of workers were overpaid. CPS workers weren't being paid enough. My apology. Um Man, Alex says, I've always wondered how a child cannot go to school for years and no one knows if it's not reported. Exactly. Exactly. And how, just like with Naziah, how what were they doing? I mean, y'all heard the story. She on the floor in a school, on the floor crying out for help, and nobody ever came. I, you can't make that make sense. There's no way. So many horror stories. So many. It's crazy, right? It's very sad. Yeah, Nene says, find Naziah. I wish it were that simple, huh? I'm not gonna lie. Like, after all this time and where we headed with this case, with this conviction, because we will have a conviction. Yes, we will. We absolutely will. Even saying that, it's almost like, as a family member, um, the goal is to have, we got hope. Like, we on our last hope. It's bad enough we're facing this. You know, this is all we have, is hope that he is going to suffer and he is going to pay for everything he has done to Naziah and to all of these other victims. Without that, what do we have? Alex says, I wonder will any CCs apologize for all the madness they stirred up in these 2 years. I absolutely doubt it, Alex. That would be nice, right? They couldn't even light a candle. They couldn't even light a candle for her January the 9th, which was the anniversary of the day she came up missing. They couldn't even give her that day. So I absolutely doubt it. That's the last. In fact, we still got, we still got one loud mouthed and running off at the mouth. With all that's going on, you would think they would have some empathy, some empathy. They have none. It's all about a story, lies and lies. I heard something earlier. Somebody said, I got an email and someone asked me, they said, I just watched this Mark D over, and they said that the phone pinged to the house. I mean, pinged to lady. I said, I thought I spoke on that before already. I could have sworn I did, but no, there was no phone that pinged to lady. I was like, where did that story come from? And they told me Mark D's. And I said, oh, okay. But he said something about the phone kept cutting off and cutting on, and that is not even a story. See, had he not have fell out with us, he could have got the story. He got some of it, and he went and flipped it around and twisted it. That's not what happened. It was her Instagram. Shannon kept on signing in and out of her Instagram. That's what it was. Okay. And she was good for doing that. She did that with Vari as well. When Vari had left and ran away, she was getting into their accounts. And a lot of families know how to get into their families' Instagrams. I mean, I've had a young lady that was saved behind that I just I know for a fact, just because of a friend knew her Instagram information. And so I said that to say that's what was going on. And I'm not making light of her being anything short of what shy of what she is, but I'm just saying what the real story wasn't a phone ping to lady. It was um her Instagram kept being signed into and signed out of, and they found out that was the one that was at the house, one of the tablets, because we were fussing about all those devices. And so yeah. Nene said, right. I said the same thing. No candle, no nothing. Right, Nene? No nothing. Just, and oh man, I'm gonna go into that another day, y'all. Cause I tell you, I can go on and on with this madness that's going on. It's just madness, you know? Right. And she just Alexa said, I wonder, will the CC's, yeah, right? It's madness. You said it, but it is. That's what it is, Alex. Madness. I thought we said it at the same time, but I forgot I read that. So now I realize what made me think it. You right? Madness. Let me see. Just making sure I got everybody. Yeah, but any thoughts you got, Nick? I ain't gonna hold the people too long. I just want to stop in here and we have a conversation. I will be back. Yeah, I'm glad y'all was patient with me too, because we had some issues going on. We couldn't get Nick up in here, y'all. I said, oh, we gotta get Nick straight.
Yeah, Alex, I was hoping that you could have got in on that call line. I saw that you was like, shoot, at this point, call me. I know you had something to say. You really wanted to say it too. I said, yeah, coming through with some tidbits of good information.
That's right. It's absolutely appreciated. I love to see it. I love to see that my chat over here, boy, y'all be on it. I'm not even gonna lie. It's nothing but common sense over here. So I'm grateful for that one. That's right. Alex said Roxy is a liar. You hear me? A absolute liar. And I just can't believe anybody thinking. I know how bad we want. I know how bad we want Shannon to pay. I know how bad we want. You know, we all want it, but we can't just make stuff up here. Like we just can't. Like we got to keep the facts. Like come on. It don't make if it don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense. We are giving them what they want. Y'all got to remember that's a whole circle. Notice as soon as she put that out, boom, you had everybody that think like her talking about it. You know,
Nene
you
said,
know,
"Girl, we can go on."
right?
Nene ready for it.
Okay, Nene,
Sham-
don't let me drop this link for you, child. Hey, you
uh,
come on up here and take over.
Shamina, I can't believe anyone believes her. I think Roxy did that because her and her mother was just exposed.
Hmm. Yep, I agree. Hold on, y'all. I'm putting this in the chat just in case.
Come on up, Alex. It's we gon' we gonna let you up over here. We ain't gonna leave you out.
Yeah, for sure. I try to let everybody have an opinion for sure. And Alex be on point.
Shamina too.
Yep. Not playing at all. And like I said, y'all, the way they all went live and talked about the same thing, minus, y'all know which one I'm talking about now. Uh, y'all know who I'm talking about. The pipe, rock. They was Johnny on the spot. Y'all know they talk to them on a regular funk. So I was waiting on that. I said, yeah, let's. Like, what's finna happen. It was a diversion. And like, you know what, we gonna work together. I'm gonna keep on being a distraction. Y'all just keep on talking. They working hand in hand. I'm gonna keep the people distracted. Y'all keep talking. That's gonna keep giving y'all content. Bam. That's how they did that. I said, wow, look at this play. Unbelievable. Alex said they were exposed so bad. Yep, sure was. And they was itching for a scratching. We gotta do what we gonna do, what we gonna do. Oh, I know what we gonna do. Let's do what we always do. Change the conversation. Get people to talking about something else. Entertainers do it all the time. Okay? I mean, they do it all the time. And I sit back and say, yeah, I know what this is.
Yeah, all they do is polarize. It's polarizing and sensationalizing. That's the name of their game.
Yep, sure is.
Oh, okay. Shamina says she'll come up, but she's cleaning and stuff. Understandable.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I dropped the link for anybody that I hate. I missed someone was trying to come up earlier, and I hate I missed them. I was like,
Oh,
oh, okay, somebody coming up. Let's see who this is. Um, Wait, I think they probably made a mistake. Yeah, I don't think she meant to do that. Wait, did you are you trying to come up, Alex? Let me try to drop it again. All right, there it is. There you go. There you go. Okay, let's see. I don't know why it ain't working for you. I redropped it. Let me see. Okay, I got you. All right, you should see it there. Anybody want to come up? Y'all welcome to come up.
come on, Nene.
Nene
She said she loved it. Come on, Nene.
Nene said, "Get on their ass." You know it, Nene. Look, I got to do it because it's really sick and sad. Now, what that other one say? Did y'all see that?
Oh my God.
And then you got to cry. You got to laugh to keep from crying. Cause what? What did you see? Did we see that? Mm, mm, mm.
Pushing a button, making some flickering things go up into the ceiling. Man, get out of here.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
What was the other one? What was that voice over there talking about?
Mm.
You and
Oh, we was running a play.
y'all running the play.
Child,
Y'all link.
me, Kenya, and Roxy running a play. I said, dig this. This broad and lost her mind. Clearly, we know that much. Like you can't be serious. You think this is play? They the only ones playing. Ain't nobody playing. I'm not playing behind these kids. We not playing over here at all.
On no day.
Mm-mm. Not at all. So yeah, Chad, like I said, I want to come and sit with y'all. I'm glad y'all was patient with me and double back around and came and sat with your girl. We got a chance to, just listen in on some of these horrific stories that has happened time and time again. And the question is, where do we go from here? You know, where do we go from here? Those are the conversations that need to start being had. If everybody can just stop worrying about the numbers and the fuse and everything and start having some real conversations, and we really start trying to really get to some real solutions and you know do some problem solving here. I feel like we can get some things done, but we just talking about it, we're going nowhere fast because every day is something else, another horror story every day. So yeah, chat. Thank y'all for coming to sit with me. I want y'all to put the needle on the record and spin these audios. Until next time, y'all know the vibes. Peace. All right, I came on back. I had to come on back around. Hey, hey. Listen,
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you, hon. Hey,
How you doing?
how you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I appreciate you making your platform on behalf of the family because y'all be right about a lot of stuff. Like a lot of stuff that they do and they say, it don't make sense, you know? Like it just don't make sense.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And I thank you for your support. I was just about to hit end. You see how that go? I was about to end the chat and I said, "All right now." I said, "Let me
Oh,
come on
see,
back from
look,
here."
I didn't even know. I would have
No, it's
just
okay. You are fine. You are fine. I don't mind at all. I let the
but
chat go a minute anyway, so it's good you came on up.
yeah, it's just a lot of stuff. Like the whole, I feel like I was so happy when you got on um Toot's platform because I felt like a lot of the stuff that you were saying we weren't getting a full story. So for example, when you were talking about um why you were so concerned about them having the parties, you know what I mean? And why, like you had a kids party, you were here in Detroit, didn't invite none of the kids. And then like just like the insensitivity of you guys being more of immediate family than she was. And it's like, well, we gonna create the GoFundMe and we not gonna talk to anybody else and we just gonna do it because that's what we want to do. Like none of it makes sense.
At all. It made absolutely no sense at all. I mean, and of course, if we all remember, I spoke on not long ago. We were fine being in the background. We were absolutely
Right.
okay with that, just getting everything done. It wasn't until they began to slander our names and blatantly lie on us that we said, "Oh yeah." We were letting them have it,
And it's so
everything.
easy for people to say like, well, you should have went over there and snatched those kids out the house. And it's just like, that's not how it works. Like a sensible person is going to try to go about it in the correct way. You know what I mean? And I just want people to know, like, when they make these assumptions about the police ain't doing nothing, they out searching in places the police have already been. Like, I mentioned in the chat, I had my brother was, what do you guys have to say, red rum. and
Yeah, very wrong.
um and like we had very little to no information until, like, we were so emotional at trial because a lot of this stuff we were just learning. Like, they don't just openly share, even, they weren't even telling me as a sister, they were telling my mom and my dad,
Hmm.
um and they still had very little information to go off of. We learned everything at trial, you know what I mean? So, like, people make these assumptions and they look at the preliminary hearing and they think that they got all of the answers, and it's crazy.
I agree. I absolutely agree. They think that they are the detectives, the doggone the judge and the jury. You hear me?
Yeah. For sure, for sure. It's crazy.
Yep, I agree with you. I absolutely do. I it don't make no sense. Like that, I just be sitting back like, dang. At least, as we move closer to this, the 23rd is, we don't have long. At least,
Mm-hmm.
give everybody some type of grace, and
Right.
have mercy on the family and the actual loved ones, and everything, and let us just move forward. We don't have long to go. What are we talking about?
And
What
that's why I
what
said I'm just interested to see what everybody's going to say um after the trial is done, or like day after day, when you come and when the day ends and you learn more. And it's like all of this stuff that y'all was putting out, you know what I mean? All of these people that y'all brought on y'all platforms, the evangelist, his cousin, his brother, his sister, all of these people that y'all interviewed just to have some type of content surrounding this case, what what are y'all gonna have to say for that?
exactly?
And the
Yeah.
spiritual readers.
Mm. So disrespectful.
Yeah, and then I just want to say this too, like, as far as like Roxy and her mom, like, I just it's like I know they're a part of the family, but it just doesn't make sense, like how they were moving. Like, you came here to the Roxy wasn't even living here. You know what I mean? Like, you came in the midst of this, and now you boots on the ground, and um y- nobody cares but you, and you're out. Like, the search and stuff was crazy to me, especially from them, like, people who live in different states and stuff. Like, I'm like, why are they still going out there 2 years later and we covered in snow right now?
Exactly.
Like,
The ground is
what
frozen.
do you think that you're about to find that the police haven't in the past 2 years?
That's right. That's right. The ground is frozen. So is the water, and that's
Mm-hmm.
why the divers had to stop. They had to stop the
Mm-hmm.
the searches and wait for some of that, snow to melt and that ice, because it was just so much. And when things unthaw, things come up. You know what I mean? Things
Right.
raise up when that water and everything gets to unthaw. And so they had to call off a few of the searches and double back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
But
bad our
here,
weather can get in Michigan.
yeah, and here they are 2 years later searching in the same spots. Like, what do you feel like? And then I don't even know, like, what is Frog Island? What are they talking? I've never heard of that, and I lived in Michigan my my whole life.
Yeah, it was absolutely a first for me, and I was like, wow, I couldn't believe. I said, okay, yeah, like Nick said in the chat, trying to be relevant so bad, y'all. That's exactly what it was. Because again, here they are again with this. They want to go out here, here, and there and search, and the weather conditions are the same,
Yep.
frozen solid. What's the weather today, y'all? Come on now, a negative what? I know it was a -4 degrees
hmm
yesterday, I believe. It is freezing cold.
And it's
So
like, to waste your time as somebody who lived in Michigan, you know what I mean? Like, to waste your time, video recorded, because it's all content for them, video recorded, and send it to the content creators and say, oh yeah, y'all, I'm back out here. I don't see nothing. Like, okay.
right, right, exactly. So what was the point? What are you guys
hmm
doing? And then you heard that psychic say, well, that lady that said she's a psychic came and said that she was told not to say anything, not to
Yeah.
tell nobody, don't tell police, don't tell family, don't say nothing. What they do that at? Where did
Right.
they do that at?
And
What's the
see,
secret?
I don't even, when I was following them before the whole picture situation, just following just to see what they was talking about.
Mhm.
Um I was like, well, I never listened to the videos about the spiritual readers, because I'm just like, okay, like, it's one thing if you talking to somebody who was related, but the spiritual readers, like, I can't really, you know, I don't want to hear that. Um, but yeah, like, it just doesn't make any sense, and they still doing videos on them, still going out there searching, like, for what are y'all looking for? I can assure you, like, so many questions are that people have, and what did she have on? All of that stuff is gonna come out at trial. Like, we have Project Green Light now. Like,
Yeah.
they probably have cameras that tracked her from the moment she got off that school bus. All we saw is one picture, because that's all we needed to see at that time.
Right.
But they probably have cameras that tracked her from the moment she got off until, you know, we don't know when, like, the
Mhm.
whole day. I can almost assure you that they have cameras for it.
Yeah, they said it's a whole lot of um audio and a whole lot of data. It's a lot.
hmm
It's a lot. It's a lot, and it's like, like you said, they don't need to bring all this out for preliminary. They just need to get it bonded over. They don't. They're not going to show you their best hand. They're just
Right.
not going to do that. That's just not how it works with any trial.
hmm
And this one is no different. I mean, as far as how the court move.
hmm
And so, yeah, people are just they are truly milking it. It's so disrespect, and they are looking like the sickos at this point. Like it's showing up on them, and they don't even understand how they look. Like
hmm
the people are tired of hearing, um people are burnt out. They burnt out
Right.
because they have taken everybody on a journey mentally. It's been so many lives in between this, all this doggone shock value and all these lies. It don't make no sense, what they're
Yeah.
doing and it's very disrespectful to her case. Not
hmm
all, but the one, y'all, like I say, y'all know what we're talking about. The the
Yeah.
the ones that just won't stop, that haven't done
hmm
anything, haven't been here, haven't did anything to contribute to this case at all. you know
Right.
and that's the problem that I have. Not not the speaking out, but don't stir up a bunch of mess. It's been so
Right.
disrespectful the way they have handled this case. Sure, you speaking out, and sure everybody knows, but do they know in a respectful manner? Not at all. People have thought the worst. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so many fictional stories, it don't make no sense.
And then like I wanna going back to when the situation with the pictures had happened.
Mhm.
And I was watching it unfold. I was watching it on Toots Live. And she so Toot is playing her live and she's like, I don't, blaming the one individual for everything. I don't have one picture of her. I don't have anything for Detroit in my phone. And I'm like, she's like, I don't know how to. JJ was pulling all of that stuff and sending it to me. And I'm just like, look, like, so you mean to tell me that you've been investigating this case now for 2 years? You got all of these videos, all of this content on it. And all of the stuff that old girl was pulling was public record. We can all go pull up that kind of stuff, those, register actions on the court website. And you mean to tell me that you had never done it? So what are you researching exactly?
We definitely have to, like you said, you can't just call it out. We definitely have to do our research. Definitely have to
Right.
do it and gain an understanding for what, not just what you're hearing, but understanding what you're hearing. So yeah, I get where you're coming from that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of it's people, and she admitted that. You know what? She absolutely did admit that. She said that she was listening to everything that came from Parker, from
Mm-hmm.
Pipe. And she got lost in everything, even with the drama. Um and that listen, if we can't take nothing from this, we all have sat back and watched this be turned into a complete shit show for
Mm-hmm.
content.
Yeah.
It really has. On even on down to now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one that rattles me the most is that voice box, that loud mouth. It's like, what are you talking about? The people already know the truth,
Right.
and you can say what you want to say. You have already the things that these people still believe this stuff. They believe that Annette has
Mm-hmm.
a baby with Eric Gamble, her oldest son. You hear me? And I'm like, I cannot. I just can't.
Like make it stop. Like at what point is it like, okay, enough is enough,
Lady Baby is oh man, who was it? Lady Baby was up Charles Bussy's baby. Like, are you that's Vari's dad? Like, stop it. All you gotta do is go see when he passed. You'll see the obituary, and
Right.
lady had been long gone. Like they had already divorced, and she had been long gone. Lady left home at 13. Now I got pregnant at
Mm-hmm.
13, and so she had been long gone, and not you know what I mean, to where she wasn't
Right.
living in the home anymore. And that's what Janelle meant, because they just had this new trying to twist her words once again. I forget where I heard it at, but somebody just came with a what did she say? Well, how did she know? They knew. How did she know the next child? Fool, what she was saying was everybody runs away from Annette house, and she knew that
Mm-hmm.
Naziah would be next because all the responsibility was on her. And that's how it was always in my aunt's house. The oldest one had all the responsibility,
Right.
with the babies, the dishes, everybody, clean, clean, clean. It was just never just be a child, just
Mm-hmm.
live your childlike life. And a lot of that honestly is the reason why I never put my kids on each other. Like, my kid can
Yeah.
never say, not saying that you're not supposed to help with your sibling, but it's not something that should be forced upon you, because you did
Mm-hmm.
not screw for those children. I hate parents that make their kid, be an adult and take away from their childhood. My
Right.
kid can't even say they ever made a bottle in a diaper. I was doing all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I did all of that.
Hmm.
Like, but there's a lot of children that resent their parents for that, and they
Because
may
they
not
had to
say
grow
that.
up too fast. Right.
Yeah, they resent their
Hmm.
parents for that. So yeah, that is what the experience was. And even after Naziah, it would have been the next one. The next one in line was my other little cousin. She was tired. She was frustrated. She made sure
Hmm.
that she said that. You know, she made sure that she said that I heard about these things. She was tired and frustrated. You know, no child want to babysit and clean all day. I'm sorry.
Right.
No child. You
Exactly.
you wanna be a child. That's all you should have to be,
Hmm.
honestly. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's for sure. My mom, my youngest sister was 13 years younger than us. Um and I was still a kid. Like I wasn't, how kids can't do certain things. They can't cheerlead because they have to watch their little brother and sister. Like I didn't have that experience. You know what I mean? Like I was still
Mhm.
a kid and my little sister was my mother's child, you
That's
know.
right. That's right.
And she took care of her. Um but yeah, I'm praying for the family and I'm thinking about it. And one other thing that I was really confused about with Roxy, because her and her mother were so outraged when you played the audio from the other family members, her allegations.
Hmm.
And I was I'm like, well, Roxy, you brought a family member on Mark D's podcast to do the exact same thing early on. This was when she was still on the podcast.
Hmm. Hmm.
So what is the difference? I really wanted to know that with her, like, because you guys weren't coming with, you know, they didn't come on there with police reports or any type of CPS reports. So like it's like the pot calling the kettle black. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I agree. I absolutely agree, honey. I mean, she was going live and talking about what we weren't doing and why didn't you go get her? So I had chimed in that live because that's the live I was in the chat. Like, who are you talking about? You keep saying
Hmm.
the family members that made the reports don't got the balls. Who are you talking about? Because we know you throwing shots, you shooting subs, and listen,
Right.
but say what's on your mind. I mean, that went on over and over and over, and we was like, yeah, this when they got to vandalizing our homes and threatening and calling Janelle's job and school and all of this
Yeah, that's
chaos went on.
crazy.
All gloves was off then. Okay, let's go ahead. It's all finna be exposed now. Now we're gonna speak out because you're putting us in danger. But let them tell it. We started this. You know,
Hmm.
we started this. And we put their lives in danger. No, you did it to yourself. And you know why? Because karma comes back around again. Karma don't have no problem knocking on nobody's door at all. When you put that out, you get it back. You get it back 100 strong. You know.
And let me ask you this, because I always wondered this, and I feel like you guys would know more than, like, had they ever told you guys, like, um Naziah had a tendency to run away?
No, never, not at all. In fact, she's never ran away before, and so, uh, yeah, that's why we were like, we're not having it because she run
Mm-hmm.
away. She wasn't that type of little girl to run away. We had never heard that she was, you know. I mean, honestly, yeah,
Yeah.
it was like, nah, we're not buying that, And then, like I
That's
said,
what makes them so suspicious to me. You know what I mean? Like, because I wanted to say, like, I don't feel like they, like, were they neglectful? Absolutely. But having something to do with it, hands on, I didn't think at first that, but the fact that they let it not go public for so long. You know what I mean? It's like that's the one thing that like is kind of like I don't know, like what were y'all trying to hide? Like why didn't y'all want her found?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's same that, and that is why we were pissed. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
we're not gonna buy this at all. You know, I still don't understand this to this day, and even now, you know, we often wonder, do she understand now? Not that we care,
Right.
but it was more so they were angry at us. Like we had did something wrong, and it's like,
Mhm.
do you now that the facts are out?
Right.
It's not deniable. So like,
Mhm.
don't you understand now? And to hell with that, because clearly it showed from my little cousin transcripts that were blasted all over the YouTube streets that she told her. She went to
Mhm.
her mother and told her mother, you
Yep.
know. And that was not just one kid we talking about here that told,
Mhm.
and so it's just yeah, yeah. It don't make no damn sense at all. At all.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely be watching the trial. I'm interested because it's just like y'all think that the police, they said they have 80 something witnesses, and you really think that that one day of evidence that y'all saw was
Child, do you hear me? Child, I said unreal. Like these people must have never been to court with anybody. They don't know anybody
yeah.
that ever fought a real case. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's never happened, because if they knew, when you know. And it's like,
Right.
yeah, they got a whole lot they finna bring out in trial. That's the point of this. Yeah, like Nick said in the chat, delusional. Delusional. Very much delusional. It don't make no
Very.
sense. But honestly speaking, um, I have a problem with the investigator that didn't talk to Naziah for sure. CPS for sure, the
Mhm.
counselor for sure, Annette, Shannon for sure, Jarvis for sure. Those that just could have um did what they were supposed to do, and all of this would have been prevented. Just if
Right.
everybody would have just played their part,
Mhm.
we would not be talking about any of this. um and so that just really pisses me off. But one thing I can say, as far as the lead investigator that's on the case now, the prior one, but the one that's on the case now, she's very aggressive. So
Mhm.
I'm just trying to, keep my faith, because I've done my research on her. And if everybody go do their research on Shannon Jones, you'll see how many cases she fight, as far
Mhm.
as cases like this. And she's not, from for her record, if her record reflects, that lady don't play no games, and neither do Tina Ripley. Like, so we talking about some
Right.
very strong, we can say what we want to say, but as far as that you got to let their cases talk. You got to let their history of what they do and what they have done talk. And if we do
Mhm.
that, if we just go back and research, you'll see, you know
Yep.
so
And I have the utmost confidence. It hasn't been a trial of this magnitude in the city that I've ever watched where do they know that this trial has a lot of coverage behind it. So it's going to be public, it's going to be video recorded, they're going to have cameras in the courtroom. Probably, I'm not sure who all will be testifying, but they're going to have cameras in the courtroom for this trial. And I'm 100% confident that he'll be convicted, and that
oh yeah,
all of the questions that everybody have will be answered. We gonna know what she had on. We gonna know about the shoes.
that's right.
The onesie. I really hope whoever planted those um clothes um I really hope that comes out. That's what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
interested to know.
Oh yes, 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 yes. I agree, and we all know. You know what I'm saying? We all
Yeah.
know we got a good idea. Um, for sure. That it's like they said, just you wanted it so damn bad. So now we know that you wanted it so damn bad. Now you got questions to answer, and a lot of these answers aren't adding up. As far as Roxy and Key go, so y'all wanted it so bad. You said you found it. We clearly saw a video where you had that bag in your hand,
And
and
she said it. She said it on the video. Like, I just picked this stuff up and I just put it in a plastic bag. Like,
mhm. Yeah, you're right. And then your mother said, she said, "Don't touch it, don't touch it."
yeah.
So
And
what
I
was you
didn't even
touching
know
it?
she was, that was my first time hearing that she was actually there when it was found. You know what I mean? Like, I stopped keeping up with them a long time ago because it was too much. It just seemed like clout chasing to me. You know what I mean? Like they just wanted attention. Well, she did, and then the mom came in out of nowhere.
You hear
Um,
me?
so like I really stopped following them, but I do remember seeing that video, and somebody had it came up recently on my timeline after when you and the mom were on Too's channel that
Mhm.
came up, and I'm like, I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew it was a video out here where the girl said she picked up the stuff and was taking it to the police station.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, right. And none of it make no damn sense, do it?
Mm-mm.
Not at all. Not
And
at
then
all.
another thing that people have to make sure that they realize too, because I
Mhm.
think that this is something that goes over a lot of people's head, um, is that the searching and everything that was investigative in this case happened almost 30 days after she initially was reported missing. So people keep saying, like, I remember it where people said he ran into something with the baby mama's car. But we don't know that, you know what I mean? Because what the baby mama said on the stand, or I don't even know if he got a kid with the girl. What she said was she was asked, was the front end of this car like this when the day that this happened? And she said no. So she could have gotten, like, she could have gotten an accident within them 30 days of the police even coming to see her. Like, I think that people are just making a lot of assumptions. Um, and the people, like, you really have to pay attention to the timeline. Like, it wasn't like Naziah went missing and immediately the police were out looking, questioning people. It wasn't on the news until almost a month later.
Right.
So we have a whole month in between where anything, any type of action was being taken. You know what I mean?
I agree. Now, one thing I can say is that I believe for sure that it was investigated that the car was hit while he was driving the car. There was a lot of searches that went on, and again,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of searches that people don't know about. Um, as far as homes, I believe it was in the 20 number, if I'm not mistaken. But there was a whole lot of searches that happened, and that was a suspicion. As far as the car being hit, he's the one that hit the car though. Um,
Mm-hmm.
when he had the vehicle. Yeah,
Hey, can you hear me, Kiwana?
I can hear you, Nick. Hey, hey.
Hey, hey, Alex. I just wanted to step in. What she said the back of my car was like that already, but not the front of
Mm-hmm.
my car. That's
Mhm.
what she said on the stand.
Mhm.
She definitely said that car was not like that. Only thing that was damaged was the back part of her car already.
Right.
See, I think I have to go back and listen to it then because I don't think I ever heard them clarify like when he left with the car. You know what I mean? Like when he left with the car, I have to go back and listen to the questioning. But that could be true.
Understandable. I've had to go back. I tell you, you know what? It's so much. It's
Mm-hmm.
so much. So yeah, yeah. But I definitely believe. And the thing was, why and how did you hit the car? What were you doing? Some people
Right.
said a deer ran out into the like. Stop it. No.
Speculation again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
because how would you know that? No, no, that did come out in a preliminary hearing. So none of you live in Detroit. Most of you do not live in Detroit. You know what I mean? So what you're at, like everything you're going off of is an assumption.
I agree. I absolutely agree. You're right about that. You're right about that. Hey, hey, Jazzy, I see you. Hey, hey. Nene says, hello, are we live Michigan time 11 right now? Yes, we are at 11:01, right, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing that
Yes.
right. Yeah, 11:01, Nene. Yeah, so let me see what else. It was something else you said, and I wanted to double back on it. I think I done lost my train of thought, y'all. What I missed? It was something else good you said, Shy. Dang, Alex, I can't even remember it now. But it was something else you touched on. Oh, I done forgot. Y'all know how that go.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how that go, y'all. I done forgot. But yeah, again, with we all gotta go back, It's so many things that's you can miss. And like I said, it happens to the best of us. We're not no spring chickens no more. And so
Right.
those
Yeah.
memories, you know what I
Definitely have to
mean?
replay those the
Mhm.
interrogation. You have to replay the testimony.
Hmm. I agree. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Definitely got to go back. Yeah, yeah, that's right, Alex. I definitely appreciate you coming up. Anything else you want to touch on? You can go right ahead.
Oh no, I'm good. But it was just I was been watching and I watched all of that unfold that day. And I was just so happy that you got to really explain, what your frustration was
Oh
with them
man,
because a lot of people didn't really understand it from start to finish. And I feel you know, like you were justified, you were hurt, you know what I mean? Even a lot of people that might not always agree with you, they was like, dang, when you listen to Kiwana, she makes sense, you know what I mean? Like it makes sense, it add up. No, I'll be, watching, I'll be in the comments. And I'm looking forward to the trial and also the aftermath.
that's right. I agree. And this is a time where, oh man, and like I say, I don't think that the ones that's playing games and trying to keep the false narratives going understand how mentally prepared you have to be to move forward with something like this as far as a trial. You have
Mm-hmm.
to, I tell Nikki all the time and Janelle, I am literally reliving my childhood traumas through this story all over again. And so a lot of people may not understand my passion. I'm a Capricorn. We rather make friends than enemies, really. It's just like you said, I've been very misunderstood and I've been we've been fighting for these kids and all we wanted the outcome to be was that they receive their complete justice, every last one of them, every last victim. And the to see so many adults, I mean, I never seen anything like it in my life. For me to have to constantly go in there and say, please take these kids pictures down. It
Mm-hmm.
don't matter if you can see the picture. think about it, if it was your living child and how that would torment your living child if they had to live through this a trauma to see their faces plastered everywhere. It's like a freaking nightmare. Can you imagine the psychological damage that that can do, especially to a young person, that's already not strong enough? um I can't even freaking imagine, like, just what I've been through and what Jay has been through, the lies, the slander. I mean, you still got a loudmouth saying that we knew, and doggone, we didn't said 1,000 times what we knew. But
Right.
for content, you will continue to yell and spit versus stick to the facts. If you really care about Naziah and any of these victims, you would stick to the facts. Nikki said best, throwing all that damn word salad around.
Mm-hmm.
I be cracking up, Nikki. I be like, what, Nikki?
Yeah, it's
And
just
you know
it's
who?
it's disgusting. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be that old, and I know she got to be up there somewhere. We ain't talking about no spring chicken there,
Mhm.
and you just doing that disgusting. You piggyback right off of Parker, and you just kept it going. You just kept it going, even after y'all claim y'all done fell out, which we don't even know if that's real.
Exactly. That I don't believe it. That they talking about the plays being ran. That those are the plays being ran. You know, those are the plays being ran.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
I never came across her. What triggered me to even go to her platform, I never listened to her before, was when she called in to Toot's page and she was snitching on um on Parker. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like and so
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this? And the first thing she said was like, you know, I remember it vividly. She said the first thing she started talking about was how the people were on Parker's page and they were her viewers, and then they were on Parker's page, and she gave them a mod. And I'm like, so that's what you really mad about? That her platform is a little bigger than yours, so you have something to snitch on her about, and so like that one. And then when I went to her page and I listened to her, I'm like, yeah, I can't take you serious.
At all. At all.
Yeah.
Like the troll. We got a troll over here. I guess she didn't like us speaking on the voice box, but it's the absolute truth. These people, you know what? Listen, when you begin to talk to a damn AI picture, I won't even give it that. A cartoon character picture, you talk to it and believe it and listen to
Mm-hmm.
it, you have lost your whole entire mental. It is gone. It's gone. I've always been told, look, I'm talking to myself. Don't mad me. Now, when I get to answer myself, worry. These people have listened to this loudmouth uh old lady scream and holler nothing but lies, and I don't appreciate it. You don't. It's like, oh well, I'm gonna say it kind of nice, but I'm gonna still insult you. You can keep all of it, because
Mm-hmm.
all you have done was lie on us, and then you get given the opportunity to go back to your spot and apologize, and you went and did. That's tell you how fake they are. You did a
Mm-hmm.
whole apology just to talk to me, but because I didn't do what you wanted to do, now you're back to calling yourself slandering. Like, it's utterly, and nobody, anybody that believes that, like, you have to be very traumatized and like pain to want to hear somebody yell at you. Like how people feel when I start yelling. If I just did that the whole time, I wouldn't be able to hear myself. I gotta go. I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So like all you do is yell. All she do is feed off of her chat, with her chat saying she all right
Yes.
with.
Yes. Nothing come off the top of her dome except for all the twistedness, but she feeds off of what everybody else says. It's nothing organic.
I agree.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Not nothing. And then here's the reality, you know, it'll never expire. Everything you said, it's already just been said. And you just never
Exactly.
know when you might get seen at a grocery store and I put my fucking foot out and trip your old ass and watch you fall and bust your face. You just never know. You just like, they feel like, oh, we're so far away. If they were, you think about it, they never do this to people within their own states or cities. You know
Mm-hmm.
why? Because they know they will get on their asses. But they feel like, oh, they're far away and we can do and say what we want to say. Okay. Keep believing that. You just never know. Never know. But yeah, like I said, we ain't gonna spend too much time on that. It's just the fact that even now you're still lying. You already got the people confused. Nothing that they
Mm-hmm.
told people have been factual. It's so untrue.
And then why wasn't Kenya so upset with, like, it was like they didn't even know what had happened with the pictures. Like, I think she was on one of their pages answering questions, and I think it was Shank's page. She was just they had question after question after question after question for her. And I'm like, well, dang, ask her why she was such showing those pictures. You know what I mean? Isn't that y'all
Mhm.
family?
That's
Don't y'all
right.
care about the kids? Where is that energy at?
That's right. That's right. You said it perfectly. You said it perfectly, and that's what I didn't understand because for me it didn't matter if we were falling out on the internet. We can beef all day.
Mm-hmm.
However, you are not going to sit on nobody's panel that's cyberbullying a child in your family. So I guess because it's Vari, it's a difference because I noticed that Kenya always have something bad to say about Vari. And it's almost like you are out here faking it like you care about his sister. You knew neither one of them. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
y'all didn't know neither one of them. But oh, uh give everybody the pass for what they did wrong to Vari. Let's not get on the actual content creators that shared it. Let's talk
Right.
about the dude that sent it to them. No, everybody's going to be held accountable, and that I can promise
Mm-hmm.
you. Everybody's going to be held accountable. See, they think it's sweet. They think it's sweet. It's not. It's gonna get real sour. Okay, real sour. It
Mm.
takes time, but it's coming. I tell y'all that. So I never understood that. The way Roxy she sat there and gave them the green light to do whatever they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't say, hey, I don't like how you doing this, how you saying that. Just green light. Thank you so much for everything. Doing what? You spreading awareness don't mean twisting the story and telling a bunch of damn lies and have everybody burnt out and confused and not really knowing what's going on.
But
But she
see, if
gave
they
the green
stuck to
light.
the facts, they wouldn't have anything to talk about, because how long can you
Right.
talk about the preliminary hearing, you know? Um, so we have to look up everybody's background and their sister and their mama and their cousins and
Come on.
harass people, you know what
Right.
I mean, that have nothing to do with anything, in order to be able to put her name in the
Mm,
title of the video.
mm,
Yep.
mm, mm, mm.
You own it, Alex. You speaking straight up facts.
Show is. Show is, y'all. We got one in the chat. She
Mm.
said, why do y'all talk about drama more than Nazaya? These people are literally delulu. If we are not talking about Nazaya, if you don't consider taking up for Nazaya, talking about Nazaya, you need to go stuff your head in your nearest fucking toilet and flush. And keep
That's
flushing.
the
Don't
same
stop flushing.
person, Kiwana.
Don't stop flushing. I know it's her. That's why I let her be here. Y'all know I like to troll sometime. Let them say what they gonna say, because I'm gonna get on them every time, you know. But the fact that you don't feel this is talking about Nazaya is crazy. We're talking about who did wrong to Nazaya's case.
Right.
Okay, who did wrong, who spreaded false narratives and lies and have drained the people of their every thought process because it's filled with nothing but fictional stories. That's what we're talking about. They need to be held accountable too. Okay, char char cham and cham char char. They have to be held accountable too. Now, if that ain't sticking up for Nasiah, I don't know what to tell you. But keep flushing. Don't stop.
Should we call a spiritual reader and talk about what they want to talk about instead? I'm confused.
That's right. That's right.
That's what
And
they
that's
would
what they
prefer.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. They prefer
Mm-hmm.
a fake spiritual person, a gifted person, because there's a difference between the gifted and the entertaining psychics, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They want to see them get up there with a black candle and light it, like the scam likely rain on fire on her ass. She talking about, "Oh, I just can't with her. It's a whole family for me, and I just everybody did it. She ain't guided us to a Naziah body yet. Okay, we done been through so many damn psychics, and they have not. And I guarantee you, we're gonna go through a whole trial, and they still can't tell us nothing other than what they googled. They
Mm-hmm.
googled it, and
That
they piggybacked off of something they heard.
Yep. That black candle gonna burn them damn wigs she be wearing.
Oh,
She had a damn candle up so close to the damn wig.
See, I told y'all
child.
I can't even
Woo,
watch I can't even watch
girl,
them because
Nikki.
I can't take it
Girl, I call them
serious.
scam likelies.
Nikki said that goddamn flammable ass wig gonna go off up in history, honey.
But they've been talking about a new psychic. It's been a new one I've been hearing them
Right.
mention.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that said a family member. Oh wait, you not talking about the one that Kenya went out there walking around?
That's the one I think that I'm talking
Uh-huh.
about.
Uh-huh. Yeah, she said that she's the one that said a family member said don't call the police and don't tell nobody. Now who that sound like to y'all? Come on now. If everybody put they brain together, it only sound like who been doing this shit all along. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Okay. Jazz said go off, Nikki. Nikki,
Child,
Nikki said, "Stop, no reader." Wait a minute, hold on. Night up in here. Hey, says, "Well, did I miss Kiwana Dragon Roxy about her recent?" Yes, honey. But you are more than welcome to come up, and all the drags are welcome over here. Okay, it don't make no damn sense. Okay,
ain't no
She
fun when a
said they
rabbit
were
got the gun.
represent. She said they were represented by the same. I'm just
oh
like, girl,
my.
like you would
Mm.
say anything, and then the people are in the comments like, "We just appreciate you for being boots on the ground." Like,
Damn
Child.
stops.
The
Those are damn
delusion is so
stops.
real.
Oh,
I'm just like, y'all will listen to anything at all, and just believe it.
God, they talking
Hmm.
to a cartoon character. They're
And you know
talking to
what?
it.
All they're doing is showing their trauma. All
That's
of them.
it.
They speaking through their own trauma.
I agree.
None of them are healed, and that's why they so free with the sickness that they speak of.
That's right.
Hmm.
Hey, Quantum, my bad, hun. I hope I didn't miss you. Hey, hey. Right. You right, Nick.
Yeah,
You absolutely
it's
right.
it's just disgusting. Like,
I'm going to go back and watch their views though. And I'm gonna be sure to come in their comments and remind them of where they views at when this story has, came to a conclusion. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
mm-hmm.
Oh, we gonna throw so many eggs on their damn face. I mean, I'm talking. We talking about egg, baby. I'm talking about bombs away. Everybody, you got a carton. I got a carton. I got a carton. Everybody, get your eggs ready, cause I'm telling y'all, we going on a content creator egg splash on their goddamn face, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna rub it in so good because everything that they said is gonna come back to hunt them. And that's the thing.
hmm
The internet, it doesn't go away. So that means everything you're saying, you're gonna have to eat it. You're
yeah.
gonna have to eat it. Nene said these people crazy. Yes, they is, Nene. Kung Fu Panda.
Even if they think it's deleted. Mm-mm. You put it out there, it's out there.
Yep, yep. Everything they said, honey. They said he gonna grab his squares, get his belongings, and walk right out the damn, right out through the doors, and say, "Well, I'm going home.
What?
I'm, I'm out of
What?
Like,
here."
why would y'all think that they would be like, just from the preliminary alone, like that's just scratching the surface.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I was a juror, I would have convicted right off of what I heard. Like, and they have 80 something witnesses, and
Mm.
y'all really think off of multiple counts, y'all really think
Mm,
that they
mm.
are just gonna let him walk away on what a technicality?
Exactly. It is no way. It is
Child, they
absolutely no way.
they keeping this tight to the vest, and they dotting all I's and crossing all T's, and that's why the public, well, not all the public, because I can't say the public, not all the public, but the delusional ones, they so angry because they feel
Mm-hmm.
entitled that in no case, I don't care where it's at, you're not gonna know, like you said, Alex, how your family, you guys didn't know until the trial came.
Yeah, we were so emotional
Mm-hmm.
at the trial. Like I remember one of the witnesses, and they were describing seeing him after it happened, and I had to get up and leave out because like we knew nothing. Like we knew when big things happen, we have a suspect, um he's in custody, you know what I mean? The trial is going to be proceeding X, Y. Like we knew when big things happening, but they weren't like, oh, we went and searched so and so house and found X, Y, and Z, and now we got to do this. Like we weren't getting a play by play of the evidence, but they had plenty of it.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm, mm, mm.
And just not to get off a topic, but even with this Guthrie, this woman that's been missing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
One of the news people asked about was it forced entry or what, in the lead detective said, I'm not talking to you about that.
Right. They don't give out any information. Like
At
when I
all.
say what we knew was so limited, and it's just like here she comes with this post and she knows everything. You know what I mean? I guess she
Mm.
been in the sit room strategically planning with the police all of this time.
Exactly. Mm, mm, mm. Listen, and I meant to say to you, Alex, I am sorry for what you had to endure. You know,
Yes.
I
Thank
re-
you.
yeah, and I'm definitely glad you over here because it ain't nothing like common sense, boy. It's like a breath of fresh air. Seeing all my
Hmm.
look, most my chat be coming with they be coming, don't they? Look, don't play with my chat. Nene
Mm-hmm.
said, "How many gonna be at the trial?" Huh, Nene? How many little balloon up? Let a balloon go. You hear me? Or just had a day of silence. You know, came to a
Yeah, I
protest.
can't. I can't go down there and be um because I anticipate some people trying to come here. Because again, it's gonna be content. So they might scrape some coins together, um, to get down here for a few days. But I work from home some days. I'm gonna be following it every single day. I can tell you that.
I know that's
I'll
right.
be following it.
That's right. That's right. Nice says why they never took Net and Shannon phone. Check the whole house. Did they? I know they got Shannon phone for sure. I'm not for sure if they got Annette's phone. I don't know if they got her phone. But I know for sure they did get Shannon's. But I absolutely agree. Anyone that came in contact with her at this point,
Hmm.
seriously. But let me see what I'm missing in the
I-
chat.
In any case, the immediate family, if it's a husband or wife, whatever the case is, You're the first suspects. They're going to look into you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think
That's
they're
true.
not.
That's right. Even
You
us.
most people be so offended. Like, why would they? But that's just a common thing that they do. The first people that they're gonna look at is the immediate family.
That's
They
right.
gotta rule you out first.
They
They
have
gotta
to
rule
rule
you
you
out
out.
for it.
I agree.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
I agree. And every name that's been named thus far within the storylines, we had already said every name that's imaginable that had been around her, just because that's what we wanted to assure. We wanted to make sure, who all does she know? We wrote a whole damn list, you know. Um, yeah. Let me see. Nyson says, y'all really trust, did I read that? Detroit system. I believe had it not been for Janelle and Kewana, they wouldn't have charged Jarvis. Yeah, because you know what? She would have been considered a runaway, you know? And then if people
Mm-hmm.
actually say, well, what did you guys do? Fool, we moving ahead, right? We going to trial. You think that if you think that we didn't have any movement in that, I don't know what to tell you at this point, because we talked about it so many times, you know. Nene
And
said,
if they,
"Go ahead, huh?"
I was just gonna say, like, if they asking, do we trust Detroit system? I'm not saying that some things don't slip through the cracks. What I'm saying is that anytime it is a case of this magnitude in the city, where they are in the courtrooms, they have 80 something witnesses, that costs a lot of money. They are not going into that thinking that they aren't going to convict him.
Yeah, I agree, Alex. I think she meant that in saying the people that's listening to Roxy. I think she's
Okay, I
saying it in
can't
a
see
way.
the chat.
No, I'm saying she's saying it in a way like, do these people really believe that? You know what I mean? I
Right,
believe that's
yeah.
how she putting it. Nene said making money online, but not going to be nowhere near the trial, honey. And that's right. And if they do, Nene, like Nick said, it's for content only. But I'm absolutely sure, from what I've been told, now from what I know thus far, the only ones that will be able to record in the court will be the news. I
Mm-hmm.
was told that. Um, and yeah, as far as what I've been told in that courtroom, that is going to be the only ones that's allowed to record. So I don't
But
know.
who are they gonna be getting their information from? Because I doubt they'll want to pay for each and every day of transcripts. So who's gonna be reporting the information back to the CCs for them to come and put their spin on it when they do their commentary?
Hmm.
But they can get the live feed from the news channels.
Oh yeah, they can do that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
Did I miss anything? Oh, she said, "Watch Roxy write it." Oh Lord, don't you give her no ideas. Whoo, child. Well, she ain't. What she gonna? You know what? It's not much she know prior to this. It's gonna be so many empty chapters. No, like going back to the beginning, she knows nothing. As
And
far as
even her, when it all comes out, what about all of this time you wasted? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You and your mama entertaining the foolery. You know what I mean? And even Kenya, I feel like she was trying to honestly debunk the spiritual readers. But it's like I wouldn't have even wasted my time going out there. You know what I mean? Because they're going to make it, they're going to say this stuff regardless. You know what I mean? Like at this point, they just want something to talk about.
You mean with the video that she did out there?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. I gotta go and watch it because I just really heard, I haven't watched it for myself. Did you watch it, Nikki, for yourself?
Mm-mm. Never knew it was one. But the scam likelies, they making money off the internet too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
Yeah, she made just a video saying she was out there and it was all you could see was snow. You know what I mean? Like that's all you could see was, and it's just like, but you still wasted your time going out there to look because of
Mhm.
what the spiritual reader said on the internet.
Right, right. You know, I agree. And my thing is, don't hesitate to tell them how you feel about it if that's how you feel about it, because you don't hesitate to tell nobody else how you feel. So ain't no way in the world I would sit up there and applaud them for this mess. It's just no way. You know,
Mhm.
thank you so much. I really appreciate all that you've done. And jacking this damn case up and having everybody crazy, not knowing what's really going on, and every having everybody confused and lost in the sauce. I thank you for stirring it and continuing to stir. And I'll help you stir if you need a hand. You know, damn shame.
And then it's like with the CCs, like where is that energy at for them? Because after that live when she got cleared,
Mm-hmm.
and we everybody saw that she was a liar. I intentionally went to the other CCs pages just to see if they were talking about it. Nobody was talking about it, you know. And I'm just like, well, why not? If that were you, you know what I mean, we would still be hearing about it. You know what I mean? Like
Agreed. Agreed. Honey, they tried to make it
What?
like I was the one.
Shank Rock wasn't talking about it.
Really?
See, some of this stuff, Kewana know I'm not gonna watch it. She know how I get. I be like, I can't.
Girl.
My brain can't. I can't take it. Like
Yeah, I
they hurt
can't.
my brain. They hurt my
Uh-huh.
brain.
Yeah, I get messages all day long, y'all. But as far as sitting and like watching it, the whole thing in it, I just can't. Like I'll get a time stamp and I'll go like, okay. And I think I've done that since the beginning, honestly. And it's how I missed a lot. And I was encouraged, Janelle would tell me to stay off the internet, which, when families are being exploited, being that it's been so many families that have lived through this situation, the internet is really the worst thing you can focus on, honestly. But
hmm
it was my love for the kids that's like, you know what, I'm really tired of watching people just say and do anything. It's not okay. They are freaking children. They are not guinea pigs. They are not a damn a show and tell. Like, leave these kids alone. Let them find some type of peace so that they can begin to heal. That's my main thing. So, I'm glad that I had a chance to look at myself, honestly, because you can get a lot more accomplished when just talk. You know what I'm saying? You can
hmm
say the same thing in a more calm note, but sometimes you just gotta let people have it. But I've said that as far as, me having these hoedowns and showdowns, you know, it's just been so much disrespect to these babies. And it's just like, damn, if we really love these kids and care, and if the supporters really care, you can't just say that. Love is an action word. I hear you, but I need to see it. Like, they're still posting pictures of my little cousin, and I go over there and say, why the hell is this picture up? Sure, I'm gonna look crazy because I'm cussing them out for having the picture up, but is anybody xeroxing in on the fact that an
They got
adult
the picture right.
has the damn picture up? Come on. Oh, look at her. She had beautiful. Oh, she was a cute. Nobody care about all that cuddly wuddly shit. We care about what is doing to them psychologically.
hmm
Nobody care. Yeah, right. So nice to says Roxy damn lie she acts like it was about her. About right. Hmm. Yeah, I can agree with that. It's really not about none of us. Honestly, it's about these kids. It's about these victims, and what they have had to endure. But I just feel like if we don't do it, who gonna do it? If I don't do it, who gonna do it? Do we just be quiet and watch it? Just watch them make a mockery of her damn whole like, this case is one of many that's gonna go down in history. And you know what? The history that's gonna be lies. a
hmm
bunch of a bunch of twists and turns. And oh man, I'm talking about, like I said, Annette has a son with Eric Gamble, her oldest son. Okay, like Lady Bari is Charles Butsy's child. Like these people are crazy, and that came from the YouTubers. So when I say
Hmm.
y'all shut up, like you guys are making this a mess. Why are you telling these damn lies? Uh, I'm crazy,
Right.
girl. Blah. Let's see. Quana says, "Are you able to communicate with the children? I pray they are receiving therapy." Yeah, absolutely. They are receiving therapy. They are. And as far as that goes, dear, we've been trying all that we can to do what we need to do, and it hasn't been easy because um, let's just say uh the only suspect is Jarvis at this time, and that gives um the parent the okay to say what they do and don't want to happen or to see happen. As crazy as that may sound. And the rumor was Kawana can't get those kids because of her record. Shy. I said, these people are crazy.
Well,
But
y'all
yeah,
know Roxy was trying to get the kids too, even though they don't know her. But she
yeah, I
was
never heard.
allegedly trying to
Yeah, I
get the
never heard that.
kids.
Yeah, that was alleged for sure. Yeah, she didn't want to try to get no dang on kids, but what she did do is she did go back and lie on me and Jay and say that child the CPS had reached out to her and we didn't want the kids. And I
Yeah,
said,
I
is this
saw that. I
girl
saw that video.
crazy?
Yep, I saw that video.
Mm-hmm. Rock the Gray says, and then she gonna post that stale video with Mark we already seen.
So that wasn't a new video.
No, that stuff is so old. That stuff goes all the way back to the beginning of things, okay? February of 2024, March of 2024. That's ridiculous. How you doing, Rock the Gray? It's good to see you in. Yes, I think I'm. Oh, here we go. Rock the Gray says, "I get it's about the kids, but Roxy is suspicious." I agree. I absolutely agree. It's been a whole lot of uh questionable things that she's done this far, and it doesn't make no damn sense. It really don't.
And I just think that she's just clout chasing. I think that's just what it is with her. Like, um, she had a family member that was a part, of a tragedy, and she just saw it as her opportunity to become an advocate. And it just like it would have been good in a grander scheme of things, but it's just like how it was gone about. We can't take it serious anymore. Like even like the GoFundMe really bothers me, because it's like the mom was like, we don't have to, we didn't have to discuss that with Kiwana, and then we didn't have to discuss, but it's just like, well, why would you, who was all the way from a different state, feel like it was your place to come here and start a GoFundMe?
Yeah, right. What made you think that?
And not
Um,
even talk to anybody else in the family to see how they felt about it. People who were actually here in the city with her.
well, the thing is, she knew how we felt about it, and it was supposed to go to her reward money. That was the discussion. But she
Hmm.
did. She did what she wanted to do. She did what she wanted to do. So they knew how we felt about it. That's why me and Jay went our own way because we didn't like and we didn't agree with nothing that they were doing. We was like, oh yeah, they moving funny. We good. Okay, nah, no, no, not at all. Yeah, so yeah, that was very strange. And honestly, I just feel like Roxy know a lot more than she leads on to knowing, and I think that she puts out lies and she keeps the things that she know, and don't tell nobody what's going on. You'll come out here and create a whole lie and make up a whole a fuss over on the internet, because the goal is to throw the conversation off of her. I definitely think she know. I definitely feel it was very suspicious as far as everything she's done this far, and none of it makes sense. Like, I'll be trying to make it make sense, even when it come to me saying she wanted to come and help and she saw opportunity. It still don't make no sense, the things that she's done within doing that. um,
Hmm.
it's almost like you trying to throw this case, and the question is why. And so the only thing I can come up with is for Jarvis, you know and that's all I got. Nothing else makes sense. I'm really trying to get there, but that's all I got.
Yeah,
For
and
Jarvis.
even their interaction, like her interaction with um Shannon when they pulled up with the AR, like I remember watching that and I was just like, this, like the auntie, the old boy auntie who was in the house, she seemed more upset than she was. I had forgot Roxy was even there, because
Right.
it's like y'all pulled up over here for what?
Yeah, I agree. What was the point of it? what
Yeah.
was what was the point of it all? And now, you went through all of that, but you Detroit now, right? It's crazy. I don't and that's what I'm saying. We just couldn't get it. We was like, yeah, are we losing our shit, or there's something is absolutely wrong with this picture? Nothing that they did,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't add up. It was like, yeah, and it still don't. It's like, even after all this time, nothing is adding up. Nothing. Nicely says, how does she know Shannon got immunity? Please, honey. Chat GPT. Okay. She didn't went in and asked about some whole other person case and came up with this conspiracy theorist in her whole mind. And she talking about medicated. Child, you've been lagging in that department to see about your kid, because clearly she definitely need a psychological evaluation. And I'm not even trying to be funny, but she does, because what is wrong with you?
But how she gonna spin it? Is she gonna say, "Well, I said that she was offered complete immunity. I didn't say that she had it." Like, okay, we know.
Okay.
Child, the government, it don't work like that with the government, honey. When they want your testimony, they will put your butt clean straight right in the jail cell. They better look at um uh the YSL trial with Lil Woody,
Lil
honey.
Woody, right?
Right.
Honey,
Right.
you will see what that immunity meant for him, and you see Lil
Hmm.
Woody was willing to go to jail. Y- you
Yeah.
know he was asking how long he had to be locked up.
And
So
you have to give them everything. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? And I just like, come on. I just don't think that Shannon has enough to offer her that. Like, I don't feel like she has the information that they looking for, um to be able to, like, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, not for you to be off the hook too.
mm,
Yeah, I
Jamie
agree with
says,
that.
I agree too. Jamie says, went over them people house, peach treating.
Right.
What?
A peach treaty. Ain't that something?
Whispering
Listen,
after we were
Tracy.
going live saying it was on site, and then
Mm,
we get over there and nothing.
yeah, right.
Y'all
Tracy
sitting at
says,
the table talking to Dre.
mm, child. And I just went and watched that one. I'm telling you. I no, I am not lying, y'all. I the parts I saw with that was the kitchen, and I kept trying to make out what was being said in that kitchen, and I kept on watching Roxy's mannerisms in that hallway with those twins, and how she was like her facial expression. If y'all go back to how she was within that hallway, she was looking like, "Why are we doing this? What is going on? Why? What? Why? Oh shoot!" It just it her. You know, I pay attention to body language, and her body language told me everything I needed to know. I said, "Oh, okay." And then when they got in that kitchen, it was, "What's going on? I can't hear."
Right.
And
Why
then
we
he went at the table
whispering?
talking about she's having a conversation with her family. Hold on, what? Private
After y'all
conversation.
that pulled up with the AR.
What?
After y'all
Right.
pulled up with the AR.
Child, I couldn't. I just could not. That was it for me. But I went back and watched the whole thing about a few weeks ago. There, Jamie said, "I'm sorry. Shannon would have been slapped in the sink." not the, not what's her name? The one that with the sister there with the baby blue face. Come on, y'all, Krishan. When Krishan on that damn episode of Baddies, when she washed the dishes with old girl, I said, "Child, she when she said she was dirty, yeah, that's what that little kitchen scene should have looked like." Tracy says, "Are charges coming for Annette and Shannon for obstruction and allowing this to happen to Nazaya? We don't know, dear, but we hope everybody get exactly what the hell they deserve. You know, everybody, every and anybody. Seriously." Jazzy says, "The thing is, if she wasn't honest with her over the phone because she said they have conversations prior, why is she going to be honest with you in front of you?"
Right. Why
That's a
when
good one, Jazz. That's a good one there.
they went over there for content. Mark D knew that that was going to be a good story. Like, oh, we pulling up on the twins, and
Jazzy said she got proof. Okay, Jazzy, come through, baby. For sure.
I missed that. I had stepped away. Hey, um, I don't I heard Mark D, so I'm guessing y'all was on him, but I just wanted to say something. As far as he is concerned, do you notice how uh, Alex, you familiar with the DeAndre Booker um case, right? With for Ashley Elkins.
I am.
yep, mm-hmm,
So Mark D could not play those games with Ashley's mother. He was on
mm-hmm,
scene, but he couldn't he was respectable, you know?
right.
He just yeah, he be on one too much. Yeah. Trying to
I
be
agree.
even his homeboys told him, "Man, what are you doing?" Did
Mm-hmm.
you see that live when his homeboys
I didn't see
after the
that one.
incident with the AR, his homeboys, they was basically saying, "Man, you on some girl time. This what
Huh.
girls do."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't see
Hmm.
that, but I'm sure for to try to find that one. I need to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he got lucky because he came across a Roxy, you know what I mean, who was willing to, allow him to kind of tag along with the family and the story and all of that. And it was just like I when I saw them go over there, I remember when it happened, I'm like, oh, this about to be good. You know what I mean? And he got Roxy with him. It's about to go down in there.
Mm-mm.
They get in there, nothing. They sitting at the table talking to Dre, whispering with the twins. What was y'all point of going over there?
Right. Exactly. Like, but really. And then what was your point in keeping all these damn secrets? Like what was the conversation? Because before that she was hooping and hollering, not just what she was gonna do and why y'all didn't go over there and what she would do if she seen them and how she would do it. And baby, I'm going to jail. I don't let me tell you something. I'm going to jail. Yep, yep. But we didn't see none of that. We didn't see none of that energy. It was like, oh my
No.
God, what I did, I'm messing up. Oh no, we can't. Ah, what's happening here? It just her mannerism was it was very off to me. Very off.
And did she ever say, like, because like I said, like, eventually I just stopped. Did she ever say what the conversation in the kitchen was about?
No, but I can guarantee you this. When we talk about loyalty, there was none when it came down to who did wrong, who and why they were there, why they showed up there, and what they were doing. All loyalty went out the door. I can tell y'all that if y'all okay, all loyalty went out the door when the big when the big dogs got in they on they behind about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all loyalty went out the door. So that's how they move, and that's why they cool with that little circle, okay? Because birds of a feather flock together. Ain't none of them loyal to each other, you know. They're not loyal, you know, at all. And so, yeah. Let me get this chat, y'all. Jamie said, Roxy said Shannon said it was Shannon that was pregnant. Child. Part of me just can't believe Shannon said she was pregnant, honey. You hear me? Yeah. I don't know, y'all. I don't know, hun, but I think it was more to that conversation. You hear me, Jamie? Nicer says Roxy switched up on Mark when Big Dog show up. Yeah, yeah. Baby, they was all down there switching up. Yes, indeed. And now they talking about we homies again. Yeah, okay. Fool me one time, shame on you. Uh, Tracy says when they were whispering in that kitchen. Tracy also says, um, okay, I think I read that one already. Let me see. Uh, okay, Jamie says, but Mark D was saying more than Roxy should have. Huh. Mm-mm. Rock the Gray says, talking about media arts for the kids after the AR stunt. No, for real. Like, what? Ain't nowhere in the world I would want him to activist nothing with no children. In fact, stay far, far away. It's already been said he's selling drawers with his face on it to kids. Like, come on now. He was ran out of Ohio over a 15-year-old girl. We forget that. I be like, I can't believe these people still shooting for this man. You got to be able to call people out on their mess. If there's been any talk of PDF about you at all, you are not credible at all. We talking about kids. How you getting credits and coins? What type of games they playing? So,
And he
let's see.
hasn't said a word. I don't even think he said anything after the preliminary, like he hasn't said a word about the case.
At all.
Like not anything, not an update or anything. I haven't heard anything from him. So
They
I
came
guess
out and did
suppose
their kid and play. They did their kid and play 1-2 steps. Okay. Let me get this chat, y'all. Nicer says he lost his whole career messing with Roxy and her mammy. Child. Roxy also says he been ratting too now. Baby. Jazzy says, don't let Roxy fool y'all. She really be in tune with Shannon, y'all. Oh, I see you, Six. I'm about to let you up, huh? I agree. Israelite Prince, welcome in, welcome in. And anybody I didn't welcome in, y'all. Says, I saw Miss Parker and told her Naziah family want her head. She was she was spooked. Spooked, child. Let me see what I'm missing. Jamie says, yes, Krishan put her clean in the sink. Uh-huh. Tracy says, Kewana, thanks, and I applaud you ladies for speaking up for your family. Get the chat for me, Nick. I'm gonna let these two people up.
Where you? Okay.
I'm at Tracy, where she says she's applauding me and Janelle. Thank you, Tracy, and we appreciate
Okay.
your support,
Um.
sweetheart.
Rock said he worked at Job Corps. I went there
What?
when the school was on East Jefferson and Durham West.
What was that?
Um.
Did y'all see that?
What?
yeah, I saw it.
What was it?
What
I don't
happened?
know. It
It
was
looked
That's
like
some
somebody playing.
that would look like it looked like they was trying to put something up there. Child.
I was trying to
Uh-uh.
read the chat, so I couldn't even pay. I heard some noise though.
Go ahead. I don't know what they game they playing, but they playing it.
Jazz said the thing is, if she wasn't honest with her over the phone because she said they have conversations prior. Why is
Mhm.
she going to be honest with you in front of you? That might have
Mm.
been when I was stepped away, so I don't know what that's referencing.
She said, "Oh, she was talking about when Roxy was in that kitchen."
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
did you read this one by Tracy? Are charges coming for Annette and Shannon for obstruction and allowing this to happen to Nazaya?
Yep. Yeah, I
Okay.
read that one. Yeah, I was trying to let her know we didn't know. We don't know if it's we're hopeful that everybody paid it that's had a hand in this. Everybody deserves to damn show suffer the consequences of what they've done. Neglect, being neglectful and so on.
And Kenya,
Um,
Kenya, next time when you listen to this, next time you talk to Miss Parker, can you ask her why she offered Jarvis that money for an interview?
Oh,
Cause I just don't be understanding how y'all get on these platforms, answer all of these questions about kids that you didn't even know. But then when it come, why not ask them about that kind of stuff? Why would you offer him money? He got all of these kids out here. You gonna offer him $1,000 to for his side of the story?
exactly. What side would he have? What would be?
Right.
Listen, y'all. It's so many Jarvis cheerleaders that it don't make no sense. I mean, these people have shown their true colors. Anytime you will stand behind a PDF with hopes for him at all, any type of hope, you part of the problem. Because guess what? He needs to never be able to walk amongst anybody again. He never needs to be able to walk on any type of pavement. He is a threat to all women and children.
Mm-hmm.
He is a threat to society, and he needs to be put away for the rest of his entire life. For real. Tracy says that part, Miss Alex. I truly agree. Never liked the content. Allegedly. That's right, Rockstar. Allegedly. Let me get this chat, y'all. Uh Miss Parker, a self-admitted fiend. Wait a minute. A self-admitted fiend. Oh, you ain't never lied, Miss Pipe. Miss Pipe gonna smoke it all up. All you gotta do is put it on the table. Um, Let me see, y'all. I just want to make sure I'm getting my chat. Rock the Gray says them RAs at Job Corps was messing with the kids. Yep. Oh, hold on. Rockstar said he worked at Job Corps. I went there when at the school was on East Jefferson. Oh, you got to come up here, honey. We need you up here, baby. You got something to tell us. Rockstar says he look irritated. He irritates me. Miss Parker looking a mess too. Rock, look, what are you talking about, Mark? D.
yeah, yeah, he's talking about him.
You need to
He
come
said
up
he
here.
said that was an ex friend of his.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying. Okay, he worked a job course. I went there when the school on East Jefferson. Child, look, he got ran out of Ohio too over some little girls, allegedly. But the girl came into, and what's so crazy is she typed in his chat and made it clear what had happened in the chat. The message, I believe it went a little something like this. I'm 17 years old. Two deleted texts after that. The next message says, let me get my man out the gutter. Um, Now, if somebody told you prior to your man being in the gutter that she was 17, why is your man in the gutter? And why would you delay that to the 17-year-old in the first place? Let me get my man out the gutter. After
Mm-hmm.
she says, I'm only 17. Mm-mm. That was just one. But the other story was ran out of Ohio for messing with a 15-year-old girl, and the family members got him up out of there. Nice to Moore says, exactly, Roxy PDF. Why is she getting these passes? She a female messing with a female. Oh, Well, I don't do no this in the LGBT community over here, love. But I get where you coming from. Everybody got a right to their opinion. But yeah, on that PDF situation, I hear you. Rock the Great says, and then said his account was hacked. Ooh, child. You ain't
Of
never
course it
lying.
was. Of course it
Right.
was.
Somebody then hacked his account, baby. All of a sudden, huh?
Right.
Wow. And people still supporting them. Ain't that crazy? That is crazy. You've done a good job in the community. And this is why we keep having these problems because they let the wrong people around our children and the community. If you have some sort of PDF tendencies, you don't need to be around nobody's kids at all.
hmm
That's a damn nightmare waiting to happen.
Yeah, Rock. They think that they could play on everybody's top. Everybody ain't green.
That's right.
Tracy, I admire your strength, and I'm sorry that you had to experience that in your life, and I'm glad a family member saved you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support and I appreciate the understanding. I really do, y'all. Let me see. Look at this one. I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting y'all.
No, that I was reading. She said she was a victim. Well, she said she's a survivor, and that's why I was saying I like her strength.
Oh, you were saying
Yeah.
it to her. Okay,
Hmm.
yes. Thank you so much for just being over here supporting. Yes, and I absolutely applaud you as well. And I absolutely thank you for your strength as well. You know what I mean? I can definitely relate. And it takes tremendous strength. Um, nobody never know until you walked in those shoes to know what it feels like. It's very hard. So I definitely take my hat off to you, huh, for sure.
And I just want to say, I understood why you were a little frustrated with especially since you're family, when those text messages were read, because like when that kind of stuff comes out, do you guys remember that story um that happened here not too long ago where the I think they killed the dad, the girlfriend, and the 6-year old. Um,
Oh yeah, in
yep.
Warren.
Yeah, I remember. Yep, that happened in Warren, and I remember when that happened, and it just ruined my entire day. And even like the day where they were reading Isaiah's text messages, like you get so angry, just hearing that stuff. And just imagine, like, and I'm not even a family member, and I'm, impacted emotionally listening to that stuff. So I can only imagine how family feels hearing it. You know what I mean? Um, and I think that's why I think it's just like the insensitivity of the content creators. Like, we have to keep in mind that this is somewhat somebody's loved one. Like, it's not just content for them. You know what I mean? This is somebody's loved one that we talking about, and it's just y'all are making a joke of it by trying to make a joke of it by just finding something new to talk about every single day. Make up
Hmm.
something new every single day. And it's just like, well, what about the family?
That's
What
right.
about the other kids? You know what I mean? Like there are other kids that is still being, impacted, like his children. They have his last name. Like imagine when the actual trial starts. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody is considering that when they go on these tangents and just make up these lies, and it's just like how the audacity,
Yeah, yeah, right. Hmm. Mm, mm,
Rock
mm.
got Rock putting it down in the chat. Rock got all the tea.
Yeah, yeah. I'm about to go and read it. Or me or you, Nick. Yeah, Alex, that's right. Yeah. Man, listen. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, you own it, Alex, for sure. I knew when
Roxy.
I knew when I seen you over there in Toots chat. You said at this point I can't get in on the line. You said let call me. I was like, at this point, just call me.
Cause I had just saw the post on Facebook and I was waiting on somebody to talk about it. I'm like, cause when I read it, I'm like, what? You know, like this doesn't even. And it was a lot. The people who was challenging her in the comments about what she said, she didn't even respond to. The only people that she responded to was the ones thanking her for being boots on the ground. But what about all of these other comments that's asking you about what you saying that doesn't make sense?
Mm, mm. Ooh, child. Let me tell you. Rock the Great says no, but he was crying that nobody support him. He said 20 apiece. Wow. 20 apiece.
Con artist.
Child. He need 8 bands. Tracy said, thank you. I'm still struggling and know what your cousins are going through. That's right, Tracy. You are more than welcome. And always welcome over here. And if you ever want to tell your story, you are always welcome. My email is ktimesrow@gmail.com. If you don't have a support system, you do now. You are more than welcome to hit me up on the back end and let's converse. Sometimes we just need somebody to talk to, you know. Sometimes we just need somebody to talk to and just to know we have a support system. It's very hard when you are a victim because people don't understand you. You feel like you are alone. And even if you have people surrounding you, you still feel not understood because you are constantly living with triggers and you are constantly reliving your trauma all over again when you hear of stories like this. You're reliving it, you know. It's a trigger. It take you back to your very situation. That or, you know, people don't understand your trust issues. They don't understand why you fight so hard for those that you love. Well, it's because you wish to have had people fight for you, and you never want to make the mistake of not fighting for someone you love, and that person have to live through what you lived through. Neister says, Kiwana, after trial, will you still share your story? Oh, I absolutely will, even more so after trial. You know, that's what I'm waiting on. I have a lot to share. You know, I just didn't want to make it, like I said, about me. Um, and not only that, but I have some loved ones that will love to come up and share their story. Kia is going to come up and share her story. Um, Other loved ones or anyone, along with myself. Yeah, I plan on definitely doing that. Let me see.
Knight says, yes, Alex. I kept getting blocked, timed out, saying, how do they think the family should feel or think? CC starting to say anything annoying. Who?
Mm,
Yeah, I can believe all that was happening.
mm. Rock the Great says, am I saying that right? Rocco the Great. Okay. Rocco the Great says, I'm gonna call you Rock. Rock says, yeah, he has a live saying, did I read this? $20 a person. He can get the tools needed to be a media arts for the kids. Then said, ain't nobody gonna do that. All I thought was you grown. Uh-huh. Also said he said the after school grant ran out, so he couldn't do media arts anymore from Cornerstone. Wow, that's crazy. Mm. Let's see. Nice Moore says, okay, you read that. Rock the Gray says, have that food as they dad. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think you talking about sicko. Tracy says it's going to be a lasting trauma that only God can get them through. Oh man, that's right. That's absolutely right. Also says, Amen, Kiwana, speak that truth. And that's how I know you are a blessing and God will see this through. Yes, indeed. Amen. Thank you, Tracy. Yes, He will. Yes, He will. He will definitely strengthen us and strengthen these victims. Oh man, it's gonna be a lot, y'all. We ain't been through half of the hell yet. But you know what? We gonna get through this. And these babies gonna get their complete justice. All of them. All of the victims. Every last one. Yes, indeed. Anything else y'all want to touch on? Oh, we lost Alex. Alex gone. Okay. Well, thanks for coming up, Alex. I hope I didn't make a mistake and drop Alex.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Yeah, something happened. She probably dropped down. We
Hmm.
appreciate you coming up, Alex, for sure. Look, I had said I'm gone. Look, y'all, and I we didn't double back and got some good conversation out. I'm glad I did tap back in with y'all.
Yeah. Alex was on point, but I knew Alex was on point when I saw her over in Toot's chat yesterday.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw
Mhm.
a lot of people over there that just, you can tell it was a lot of people that had their head on.
Mhm.
Um I was in movement the last one. I was downtown getting some things done. And so I wasn't able to really read the chat, but I'm sure other people got a chance to, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yes indeed. Yes indeed. Let me make sure I got everything. Everybody. Yes, y'all. Everybody and the newcomers that stopped in and sit with me. Thank y'all for coming over. Y'all keep tapping in with me. I appreciate it, y'all. I appreciate your support. And come on back. And just like the other lady, I didn't block her, but hopefully she see things different. I try not to block people because the hopes are that they'll see things different and begin to have some understanding. I only block when it's too much. Yeah, when it's too much and it's ridiculous. But yes, yes, y'all. Thanks for sitting with me. And once again, I'm gonna get on up out of here. I'm gone for real this time, y'all. We gone. And y'all put the needle on the record. Spin these audios. Until next time, I'm out of here once again. Y'all know the vibes. Peace.